Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pub. It's Saturday night. Hope my audio is okay. Do I have room for another? I think I do. Here we go. All right, lots of interesting stuff to discuss today. So hopefully we get some decent people to show up. Last Dance, thanks for being here, man. English Bottle Cap, as always. Thank you. Steve-O, what up, dog? Good to see you, man. Ah, that tastes old. All right. Let's open a freshie. Get this baby going. You ready? It's nice and bright back there. How you doing, man?
All right, how are you?
Pretty good, thank you. How's the sound?
Sound is excellent. As you see, I don't have any headphones,
I notice.
but I do have
I noticed something in there.
hearing
Tiny.
aid in each ear.
Wow. Looking good. Tiny, actually. I can't see them.
Well, they're well hidden. Here's kind of
Aha.
they're really small, so when you put it behind the ear, it doesn't show up.
And a haircut, too.
Yeah, haircut too.
Nice. Looking good, man. Looking sharp. And
So I'm using the laptop microphone. These hearing aids also have a microphone built in, and I wanted to switch it and see if you notice a difference. No, actually, no. Right now, I'm using the hearing aid microphone. How does it sound?
great.
Okay.
Um, I see no issues there.
All right.
I might give you a tinge more volume. Hi, Blue. How you doing?
Uh,
And Eastwind.
I can turn it up.
Give yourself just a touch more, but it's super clear. And everyone in the chat, um, I've got these things on, so they're going to be a little more sensitive than the average viewer. So go ahead and
How,
let
how
us
does
know.
that how does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
I made it a little bit louder.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Awesome. So you're loving those things?
I am loving them. It's a little weird, to be honest. I'm hearing sounds that I don't remember ever hearing, and it could be that it's been so long that I since I've heard these frequencies, or it could be that I'm just hearing, artifacts that aren't really in there that are coming from the hearing aids. So I'm not really sure.
Trippy.
Um, it is trippy.
You do lose frequency on both ends, especially higher as you get older. So,
Yeah, I see. It seems to me pretty clearly that some of what I'm noticing is me hearing higher frequencies for the first time in
mhm,
decades
mm,
that I just never heard.
cool. So let me understand this. They have Bluetooth connectivity?
They have Bluetooth connectivity, yes.
Wow.
I believe it's Bluetooth, but it doesn't. The iPhone and the MacBook have their own protocol for, especially for hearing aids. I think it's called Made for iPhone or something like that.
Mm,
So it doesn't show up in the list of Bluetooth devices, but I'm pretty certain that it is connecting via Bluetooth.
wow. That's crazy. But it does not have any mic. It does have microphone, but it doesn't. Does it have like headphone capabilities? You
Yeah,
know,
that's what they are. They're headphones right now.
so you listen to us
Yeah,
like
the laptop is emitting no sound. I'm hearing
oh
everything through the earpiece through the hearing aids as headphones, basically.
wow, that is tripped out. So you're actually you can hear the room sounds through through them as well as the stream.
Yes.
Wow, great technology.
Yeah, they have they have wowed me.
Yeah, I mean, I would almost say for someone who's streaming all the time, or it almost seems like you would use it without hearing problems.
I was just thinking that I mean, you might find it of extreme convenience
Yeah,
to have such a thing.
very cool, man. And covered by insurance or no?
I got really expensive hearing aids, so the insurance covered $2,500 of the price, but that was not all of it, to say the least.
Damn, yo, that is crazy, huh?
Yeah,
What a racket. Because you can get your basic model for probably, I would think, under $1,000, right?
probably. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Well, clearly they pack a ton of technology into those. I mean, there's got to be some circuit board action going on in there. It's
oh
tiny,
yeah,
though. It's amazing.
yeah. I think it's. I don't know the technology, but I suspect it's digital signal processing. So there's a CPU in there um, that's processing sound, and I pulled one out and kept the other one in just to see what the latency is.
Hmm.
It was incredibly tiny, just barely noticeable.
Unreal.
Not even a tenth of a second.
Wow. So somebody's putting these together with some really tiny instrument robot thing it's probably just so minuscule.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, cool. Did I go through the whole Bluetooth spiel last week about
Uh,
how these things were invented?
I don't think so.
You know, Bluetooth, the technology was invented by Ericsson, which is a company out of Norway.
Okay.
And a famous king from Norway was Harald Bluetooth.
Okay.
So his initials HB, when you combine them together, they make the Bluetooth symbol. Um,
Do they?
yeah, it's the
The
Nordic.
little kind of the
Yeah, HB.
okay.
The B is almost the same as RB, but the H is a bit different. And when you merge the two
Okay.
together, you get the HB, which I
Okay.
never
Cool.
realized. I was watching a show about archaeology. They're trying to find some big Viking fort where Bluetooth was buried, and they went into an explanation about Bluetooth technology, which I never really knew the connection. I kind of just thought it was a random name, but it does make sense once you learn that. He's the Viking king who brought Christianity to the Vikings.
Okay.
And so that was the end of Odin and whatever mythical gods that they worshipped prior to them. Pretty fascinating shit, though. Yeah, cup of tea. How you doing, man? Blue ear. Johnny Grammaticus, good to see you, man. Evening to you. What is your take on? Hey, Lee. All right.
All right.
I really am glad to see that you're here, Lee. Really glad. Because I know, well, let's just say, I'm glad you're here, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see you.
Yep.
A typical dad joke, exactly. Dude, I mean, it ain't that far off, I'm thinking, some kind of a boosted eye technology. I mean, obviously, the technology to make people hear who can't hear is far easier than making people see who can't, but I think that's going to be something that can happen for sure. 30 minutes. All right, Lee. We'll be looking for you around 1:15 BST or 8:15 our time.
Wow, man. You got that just like that.
Yeah. +5, I believe,
Yeah.
except for that rare time of year when we're offset from the clock change.
Yep.
But what do you think? What's your take on this thing that happened in Ceuta, Spain? This
Uh,
migrant invasion, as some people are calling it.
yeah, I didn't pay a ton of attention to it.
Hmm.
I just know that like people were trying to, it's this. I don't even know that the leader of Spain is what is his name? Pedro Sanchez.
I don't know, but
Uh,
apparently he's far left. What were you going to say about him?
Yeah, so well, this is like the Brits are always saying how ignorant Americans are of the rest of the world. Well, I honestly I had no idea that he was. I don't know who the leader of Spain was
Hmm.
until now. I don't
Hmm.
know who the leader of Portugal is, and probably don't care.
Yeah, it's funny. We're exposed to France and the UK heavily, those two.
Right.
Even though Spain I consider to be a heavy hitter amongst the class of the UK and France.
Hmm.
Portugal, I would say, is maybe a step below because they're a bit smaller, maybe a smaller economy. But um, yeah, I know very little about Spain, that's for sure. Italy, I know Merloni, or Maloney, whatever, however you say her name. But
Yep.
my take is that it was, if not a real quote unquote invasion, it was an obnoxious invasion of obnoxious assholes, and to be frank, violent assholes. They
Well, how did they get there?
well, did you realize the technology? Not the technology. I see a bottle caps thing of buffering, and my mind says technology when I see that. I'm like, have you seen how the map is the way that Spain and then the body of water, the strait, right, is
Yeah.
there, and then so Quetta is on the on the Moroccan side. It's actually on the top tip of Morocco, but it's constitutionally part of Spain. It's not a territory like Puerto Rico would be to the United States, which is its own government essentially. Um, Quetta is part of the Spanish government. It would be as
Yeah, I see
Russia
it.
if Russia was on the other side. I'm sorry, if Alaska was on the other side of the Bering Strait and
Yeah.
attached to Alaska was attached to Russia, but it was physically part of the United States. That's the same scenario that they're dealing with. So there,
Okay.
there's like what I saw was this almost like a jetty that goes out into the ocean with a very high metal fence on it, and at low tide, you can kind of swim around. Is it
Okay.
buffering? Is that what they're saying?
I saw it buffering as well. So yeah, it is. It's not right now, but when I would look, I keep, I keep a YouTube window open. Okay, I keep the sound muted, of course, just to see how it's going there, and it was buffering.
Huh. All right, Lou.
Although, yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but as far as I know, we're not doing anything wrong.
I haven't had that happen really before here.
Well, seems to be working at the moment.
All right, well, yeah,
So
let's.
basically, basically these are just Moroccans who, for some reason, wanted to go to Spain. I guess is Morocco that bad?
Supposedly, it's better than a lot of the other shitholes over there, but
Yeah. See,
apparently,
people keep there's this argument that uh, these are refugees, these are people who need asylum.
they don't.
It's been my claim that only a handful, literally a handful, not a tiny percentage, but a constant handful of 10 to 100 of people have actual legitimate asylum claims
Hmm.
amongst hundreds of thousands,
Hmm.
because the rest are they're just they want to bet we I think we're talking to StreamYard, and then it goes from StreamYard to YouTube.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, this sucks. It's going to be problematic.
yeah, Smoke Wife. We don't know what the problem is, but we're certainly willing to blame everybody but ourselves. That's what we're going with. I'm thinking it's YouTube, but I don't know exactly how the plumbing works between StreamYard and YouTube, so I can't be sure that it's not StreamYard. Trump's fault, of course.
Mm.
Mr. E.
John says YouTube's been laggy for days.
Okay.
I mean, that's a shame. Well, if it continues and it's really prohibitive, I could always try to restart a new stream.
Yeah, I doubt that. I mean, you didn't do anything wrong, and I don't know why it would make a difference. I wouldn't do it, but you're the boss. If you think there's a chance it'll help, then you could try it.
All right. Well, it's steady right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, let's just roll with it. Anyways, yeah. So we were on the Spain issue, I guess.
Yeah.
If any of these guys want to jump on and give their opinion, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, I mean, in some sense, Spain, the mainland of Spain, is protected by the strait there. So these are just Quetin Spaniards who are being pestered.
Right. Is it Gibraltar? Is that the strait?
Yes, Gibraltar.
Have you ever seen that big ass rock
I've seen the rock. Yeah,
in person?
I haven't in person. No, not.
No, not everyone's seen it online, but
Yeah.
I've seen it online, and yeah, that's one big motherfucker. I mean,
Yeah. No, I've never been there.
no,
Never been to
no.
Spain. Never been to Gibraltar.
Looks beautiful. My brother went to a wedding there some years ago, and he said it was unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's somewhat like Italy, kind of pretty dry and arid in a lot of it, countryside, All right, I see you, Welshman.
Okay, there
Killed
he
the
is.
cam. All clear, buddy. Gonna put you on. There you go. What's going on?
Hey,
How are you?
Based. How are you doing, Based?
Good evening, boys.
How are you?
Not bad. Everything's okay down my front. The dogs seems fine.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Which is obviously quite pleasing after it's been 7 months now. So
Yeah.
Unreal.
he's lost about 5% of his weight though.
Okay.
So
Half a pound or
500, 500 grams. He normally weighs like 10. He's lost 500.
So that's about a pound. Yeah. Okay.
A little more than a pound.
Yeah.
Slightly more. Yeah. Wow. Well,
So
keep them going, man. Keep them healthy.
yeah.
You give them some healthy, like some of that expensive refrigerated dog food, like the shit you have to send away for.
No, I buy it in. I do. But he has some really good kibble, and he has raw. He's on the fish. He is.
Raw fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a buddy who used to feed his dogs boneless raw chicken thighs, and I kind of thought it was pretty fucking gross, but they loved it. I mean, it's good for them, but he had some big dogs. I'd be like, hey, bro, don't you think that if they don't get their chicken thigh one night, they're going to be looking at your thigh?
Well, I've seen some social media clips where they got like a big sort of like a German Shepherd, on the big side of dogs, a Cane Corso or something, the Carno, whatever, and they're giving them like 3 breasts, right? A fucking bit of steak, some like a cow's ear, all in like a huge platter, and the dog just goes through it all in about 20 seconds. Doesn't
Sucks.
chew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't chew it, literally breast in, mouth swallowed. It's like, what the fuck? Where'd that go?
It's not I can't imagine it's healthy, but I think it's okay for them, I guess. You know, what do I know?
Yeah.
But Wild, glad to hear he's doing well. Did I hear you guys had a vote recently over there?
Yeah, Manchester. That was last night. That was for the mayoral. Labour won with 48%. Then Reform was second with 20, I believe.
And was Restore in there?
Yeah, Greens were third with like 10,000, and Restore were fourth with about 9,000.
Ouch. Not what a lot of people had hoped for. Why do you think that is? It's just they're not mainstream enough.
Well, mainstream are basically just been setting up a smear campaign for the last 6 months. So it's basically ignore them at all costs, but if you can't ignore them, smear them. That's basically so the smearing has moved from Reform getting smeared for the last 5 years. It sounds crazy as it sounds, but Reform are part of the Uni Party now because it's full of ex-conservatives. And they're much more accepted by the mainstream media now, and that's only happened in the last year, 9 months, and that's because Restore have now taken that. At least they are a right-wing party rather than Reform being basically a centrist.
Right.
So, but I mean, like I said, the press and the parties. They literally make they make Restore an actual real thing by the way they treat the public. I mean, they've been going for what, 9 months, 10 months, and they're getting 10% of the people voted. It's not bad.
Not bad, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you got to look at the positive side. It isn't going to happen overnight, so that makes sense.
I mean, Reform, and is going to have to. I like Restore. I'd wish Reform would just give it up and say, we're quitting. Everybody, we're supporting Restore, but that's not going to happen.
The only way really the right are going to join is if Nigel steps down, because Rupert said he will not work with Nigel. That's all.
Yeah,
because Nigel's tried a smear campaign on Rupert, saying he was a big smarty, and he'd abused his staff. It was all bullshit. He got raided in his farm fucking 2 a.m. by the police, took all his guns away, and it turns out they done no further action because there's no case.
Did they give him his guns back?
Yeah, he got everything back, but basically Nigel Farage just grassed him up to the police, and it's all lies.
Yeah, that's bullshit on Farage, and the only way they're going to make it is if it's a unified conservative party. Having multiple different ones with overlapping ideas and ideologies is just going to create division and lack in numbers in votes because you're going to be split up. It's stupid, It kind of is happening here, I feel like, a little bit with MAGA and more traditional conservatives, although it hasn't come to anything like a vote, but it's apparent. I mean, do you see that, Last Dance?
Yeah, I do. I think they're dividing their natural base. I think.
Yeah.
I think a Reform voter could be a Restore voter without too much of a problem.
Right.
And Restore voter could be a Reform voter and probably was. So I think they should merge. And I like the Reform guy better than the Restore guy.
No, you said no a minute ago. You said the other way
Restore.
around.
No, the Restore guy I like better than the Reform.
Yeah.
You like Lowe better than Farage.
I like Lowe better than Farage. Yeah.
Oh.
Lowe comes off as much more of an everyday human being, and Farage reeks of smarmy politician. To my basic observations of an outsider,
I agree with that, and that to me, that would make Lowe a better candidate.
I've got some anecdotal sort of experience with Farage and his crew. When in 2020 we were in Dover and we were like the OG migrant spotters, filming them come in and stuff.
Hotel?
No, coming in on the dinghies. We used to film them on the dinghies. Yeah, years ago, 6 years ago. Now, Farage turned up the one day. Now there was like 4 or 5 of us working there doing it, and we were obviously sticking on social media. It was during lockdown, 2020, and he basically just ignored any contact with us at all. So we're there every day. He's watching our stuff. He might not like that, we're a bit chopsy or not his style, but he basically ignored all of us. He did a pitch with the backdrop being Dover Docks, and we were on the White Cliffs, and he didn't say fuck all to anyone. One of the boys is a veteran, and he was sleeping on the White Cliffs in a tent, and he ignored us. And then about 6 months later, my mate had a tip over the boat graveyard locally. I found it because we didn't have a pinpoint, but we had a rough area. I found this huge thing. We posted it on social media on like the Saturday, and on the Sunday, Nigel Farage was in the Sky helicopter going above the fucking thing, saying exclusive breaking news. Look what Nigel's found.
He stole your content, your scoop.
Yeah, and it's on paper. You can see it. Like, we're 24 hours before they are. We had no helicopter, but we certainly exposed the graveyard. But yeah.
So is this where they were chucking all their boats?
Yeah. So when they used to come in, they would moor the boats up, and then they would store them in an open sort of courtyard, fenced off. It was all it was reasonably tight security, but we exposed it anyway. And we done it off Google Earth. We used Google Earth. That's what I used.
Oh, you found it on Google.
Google Earth, yeah.
Nice. That's great. I mean, yeah. I mean, what I know of as the cliffs of Dover are massive, immense, beautiful cliffs right up to the ocean. But obviously there must be a harbor or various ports of call, not just cliffs out there, right?
Yeah. Dover's most probably the busiest road entry into England or the UK via Europe.
Okay.
Were you? I heard you mentioning Italy and stuff. Were you mentioning what's happening in Quetta?
Spain, yeah, yep. We were talking.
Yeah, you were
about
mentioning that.
Yeah. Pretty wild and a pretty pussy response from the government too, in my opinion.
So basically, they've like doubled the population in 24 hours. It's all men, and they're all from a peaceful culture, and they're only coming to say hello, just to say hello to you all.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's been going on for a while, but not in these numbers. I found out a little bit. The reason why it went through the roof is the Moroccan government are basically supporting this. And I can tell you what they've been doing. They've been supplying lorries and buses to the location, so it can be exposed straight away. But the reason why they've done it is because the Spanish government has had an energy agreement with Algeria, their neighbours, and they're their big rivals. And this is what it's been reported, is that the Moroccans are really pissed off about it. So they thought, well, we're going to fuck you over this way then. So it's a bit of a tit for tat. So.
Yeah, wow, interesting. I hadn't realized it was more of a geopolitical thing.
Yeah, it's not organic.
Right.
You can safely say that.
So the government is actively kind of shuttling people there, and there had to be some kind of coordination because they all seem to go at the same fucking time.
Right.
And then they basically just wreaked havoc for a day and left because they couldn't get food. I guess I don't really.
Yeah, a lot of them went back, and like you said, it's a little enclave really. And of course, they've done some looting and stuff. Obviously, if you read mainstream media, titles saying hundreds of Moroccans has walked across the border. Well, it wasn't hundreds; it was tens of thousands. They didn't really walk. People were storming to the.
They had to swim too. I mean,
yeah,
just the layout of it, the way it was, they sort of had to either wade or swim around that fence and that jetty. It had to be low tide, I assume, too. But, I mean, if Spain doesn't put a military outpost there with, a couple 500 or so Marine type soldiers, then they're really just kind of, it's a slap in the face to that. I guess it's a city, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, the Spanish Prime Minister made a statement to say that they couldn't stop anyone arriving by sea. You can Google this now. And I seen him make a statement the other day to camera, saying that Spain is a welcoming country. We like to welcome people in, and we don't want to, endanger people. So if they arrive by swimming, we'll accept them. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you fucking cunt? So it's none of it makes any sense, really. It's like, if you're wearing a blue top, you can come in, or if you're in danger, there's a man behind you pretending to stab you, you can come in. It's like, what?
Well, if there's guys standing there with machine guns, maybe they'll not come. The attempt might not happen, is my point. And they should be, if in the case that we're at that just happened, if military had been outpost there, active and armed, I would have said this would have been a situation that they should have shot to kill. And I don't feel like that's an extreme idea.
Well, they weren't coming because they were starving. They weren't coming because they were under persecution. It looks like they're coming for the lols.
I think they were coming to fucking wreak havoc.
Yeah.
They hurt people. I don't know if the guy who got stabbed in the throat lived or not, but that didn't look good. He caught a blade straight to the fucking throat.
Was that in a train station?
No, this was in a street. It looked like a cobblestone street. A bunch of Moroccans were running down it, and one of them ran by a Spanish guy and just, boom, one shot straight right in the middle of his throat, and the guy dropped.
There was a case this week in Brussels where a newly arrived doctor and dentist started to do a surgery in public. To say it was extreme. X had a caution thing before the video. X's caution thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was doing an operation, I believe, on his face, his upper body, in the middle of the tube, in the middle of the cheek.
Did the patient survive?
Well, at one stage, I can see the patient moving his arm. So when he did that, the person behind the camera said, "God, he's alive." But by that stage, the operation had finished, and he was coming out of anesthesia.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, he was. There was
has
two
the
of them.
surgeon been brought before the?
I don't know.
Commission?
But there wasn't just the one. He had a junior doctor with him as well as the main surgeon. So it's in Brussels. You can put it down. Stabbing in Brussels train station or something recently this year.
Okay.
Horrific. Like I said, it's behind a fucking, do not watch thing. If you're sure you want to watch this, that sort of thing.
So Brandon here says, economic desperation, high youth. I'll translate this. We fucked up our country. Our country sucks. We want to come to your country because it's way better, and we can probably get a lot of free shit and free housing from you for it. That's what they're doing. And they fucked up their own country, and all of their countries suck. And
Yeah.
that's why they all want to get into your country, Welshmen, because it's way better. And you have idiots who will fucking hand them out free shit that they won't give to British citizens. So,
Is that
know.
left wing prick making excuses for beasts attacking people?
I don't know, but
No, he's making excuses for people Moroccans flooding Quetta.
Well, they all left. They all turned up, and then a lot of them went back.
apparently
So-
they couldn't get food because smartly the Spanish at least like put armed guards outside of the grocery stores and wouldn't let them loot and steal food and shit.
There was looting there, but they just didn't open them up for a couple of days.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But like I said, the reason why it happened is because the Spanish government invited them. Well, 2 months ago, they actually said that they were going to green light 800,000 migrants into Spain. Green light them. Basically, they're going through the process. But he says, okay, the process is obviously this all out of hand. It's all fucked up. So what we're going to do, if you fill out this literally 2-page form, then you're a Spanish citizen. And literally, that's what he done 2 months ago. And obviously, they're all trying to get onto that list now because, and they're saying it's 800,000 people that will be given a green light, regardless.
Yeah, well,
He's a far left socialist, this fucking Spanish prime minister. Proper wrong and stay well clear, like, you know.
yeah, it's a shame that they voted him in, and I don't know. In a situation like this, the people in Quetta need to band together because it looks like they might only have themselves if this shit happens again. I don't know, it's
Well, the people came out, and they were laying some hands of justice, as I've seen from social media. But then all of a sudden the police turned up, and then they started arresting and beating the locals, which is always quite. As a local there, you're just thinking, I'm being attacked from both sides. I'm literally. All my female members are petrified. My male family members are petrified. No one knows who these cunts are. They just literally jumped over the fence. And now the fucking police are attacking us.
yeah, it's a sad situation for everyone over there. So was there or was there not an EU vote recently that the full EU voted to start mass deportation of illegal migrants? Is that true or not?
I don't know if
Okay.
the EU has, but certain governments certainly have, like the Danish. They're kicking out people. The Swedish, they've had a proper change of heart.
Oh, great.
They've decided, being the capital for grenade warfare in a peaceful country, taking that gold medal for the last 5 years or 8 years or whatever it is now, because they're known for their grenade attacks. Or should we say, I don't know, boom medical devices. They go
Yeah.
boom in the night to the barbers. You know, the barber's door's open, someone walks past, rolls in a nice boom. Ooh.
I mean, are these things made like in a back room somewhere? They're not.
No.
They're,
They're imported, mate. Mostly from Ukraine these days, isn't they?
so we're talking actual military grade grenades.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which have
Google.
like a casualty radius of 50, 60, 70, 80 feet. You know, when shrapnel goes far, and it's like a bullet. So I mean, that's some scary shit, man.
If you Google grenades,
Yeah.
I don't know if I spelled properly. Yeah, Sweden. Those
Yeah.
are shit comes up.
Yeah, I remember looking this up years ago because we hadn't heard, you guys were talking about it, and it wasn't coming across U.S. news, even my Twitter, and
Enough.
the weird news, less popular stuff wasn't covering anything like that. So I guess
So
news, even the lesser news websites still only cover things that
yeah.
they think people want to hear about. Because I miss a lot, frankly. I feel like.
This is Sweden has faced a unique, well-documented surge in criminal hand grenade detonations and explosive attacks. This phenomenon is heavily linked to the far right. Nothing to do with all of these people were important to the country. No! No, it says this phenomenon is heavily linked to ongoing turf wars between crime groups. That's the far right. No, they don't mention who the crime groups are.
Unnamed crime groups.
Yeah, just unnamed. So that's the first thing. Is key elements of the crisis. Origin of the weapons. The vast majority of hand grenades smuggled into Sweden, particularly the M75 model, are military service left from the 1990s, the Yugoslavian war. Gangs often acquire them cheaply from the Balkans, sometimes thrown in as bonuses, and then of course there's the Schengen agreement there, so they can just jump countries a lot of the time. Child recruitment, the gangs, so the gangs aren't mentioned. The elephant in the room is not mentioned. I'm quickly going through this. They're not actually mentioning what these gangs are and what they stand for.
Right. What is the Schengen agreement?
The Schengen agreement, which is like it's six countries in the EU. I think it could be more. That you don't need a passport to travel. So, say for example, you commit a terrorist attack in Germany or Brussels, which I believe happens, and then you can travel all the way down and get caught in Greece or Italy. Sorry, in Italy, you got caught in Italy via his mobile, because these low IQ beasts, they don't realise that obviously when you switch your mobile on, it pings off the nearest tower, and they're on your toes then, isn't they? So that's what he did. But yeah, I mean, you can travel halfway through Europe without seeing a passport.
Yeah, I'm reading about it right now. It allows 90 days in any 180-day period. So that means 180 days a year.
Yeah.
Basically, 29 European countries that have abolished internal borders. So it's a free passport travel zone, single entry or multiple entry. People who are exempt: diplomats, armed forces, refugees, students, and school excursions. There's your key word, refugees. They don't even have to get one. So a refugee can be a guy who was beheading people in Syria, and boom, he's a refugee now, and he doesn't need shit. And you probably can't even vet who he is. He's just another random name, That seems like a pretty foolish. So they're doing this for tourism because they're trying to promote free trade and tourism, I guess, right? But obviously, people are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, but like to check someone's passport going between France and Italy shouldn't be a big thing. You should literally paying for your toll. Like paying for a toll on a road. You stop, you give them your little fucking passport. They look at you, ugly mug. They look in the card, they see there's anyone in there, and that's it. It's not a big deal.
Exactly.
I just asked who these Swedish gangs were, and we definitely got there, but it did take this time. Sweden is dominated by loosely, highly volatile, transnational networks, ethnically or geographically placed street gangs, and it says unlike traditional mafias, so this is a new thing that's and then we move down, it's the Foxtrot network and factions. Originally, this most powerful violence gang trafficking led by Rahul Majid, called the Kurdish Fox. And then you got another guy called Rumba, and the spin-off gang Mujahideen's former right-hand man Ismail Abubu. A deadly feud between the Foxtrot triggered massive wave of grenade things.
Jesus.
So basically, it's 2 to 3 groups. And if you just fucking picked them all up, put them on a fucking military aircraft and dumped them off, you'd have like 90% of your problem will disappear because the other cunts will hide away and go to another softer country like Norway or fucking Finland. They wouldn't stay in Sweden if they knew they're going to get picked up and fucking dumped off somewhere.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, the whole concept of dumping them off too. Do you have to have a country to receive them?
No, I wouldn't.
You
I would
send
just
them
like
on their way, and
if there was any problems where we couldn't work out where they were from, I would just like go to like Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, any country we give aid to, and say, look, you're gonna have to take this wrong, and otherwise we're gonna pull your aid. It works.
Yeah, not India. India would be like, we're not taking them because they got big problems with Pakistan, obviously. But
Yeah,
Pakistan, Syria, yeah, various other Arabic nations, Islam
Yeah.
nations, essentially, right?
But I'm sure India would take them if their aid was going to go, because they'll just imprison the cunt, wouldn't they? Or make him disappear. Not our problem anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, India's got a lot of ways to make people disappear. That is a large country with lots of poor people, probably willing to do anything for $1, But wild. All right, I'm going to shoot outside. You guys want to pop up another subject or whatever? I'll be right back.
You've been quiet there last dance. I forgot you were there for a bit.
Well, I'm here, but I'm enjoying your discussion. Did you capture any of the questioning of Anthony Fauci and his sterling responses?
Well, that's it. There was nothing to fucking watch, sadly.
There was nothing to watch.
It's very annoying because obviously he's got immunity.
Yeah, that and depending on how much the Senate wants to pursue that, they can take him to court for contempt of court, contempt of Congress, and it's possible that a judge could order Fauci, based upon his immunity, to testify before Congress or face contempt of Congress. I don't,
Because he's got immunity, it would be good that if they pulled him in, it'd be like being questioned by the FBI. Basically, you've got to answer the question.
Yeah. I mean, in general, you cannot refuse to testify in a court as a witness. You can't take the fifth for things you have immunity for.
Yeah.
Because you can't. The Fifth Amendment is your right to not incriminate yourself, and that since you cannot incriminate yourself if you have immunity,
Yeah.
you don't have there
right.
is no such right.
Another thing that I was noticed was it January or February of 2020 when he says, I can't say it verbatim because I can't remember, but he basically said that they had come to the conclusion that it didn't come from any wet market.
He said he had it in his own diary.
Yeah. So basically, he said in January, February that he believes it didn't come from a wet market. Yeah, he pushed that theory for fucking how long?
He went on. Someone looked at the timeline, and the day after he made that entry in his diary, he went on TV the next day.
Swore blind.
Said it started in the wet market.
Yeah.
I mean, he lied. He knows that isn't what happened. He writes it in his diary that it's definitely didn't start in the wet market. And then he goes on TV and says just the opposite.
Yeah.
And it's not just about him lying. He also was the focal point of a campaign to smear and ruin the careers of people who disagreed publicly with any aspect of his agenda, whether it was masking or that the virus originated in the wet market or vaccines for children, and any of these things. If they disagreed with him, they were in trouble. If they were professionals and maybe his peers, they were in real trouble because he had to, he basically pursued them, and they suffered career, sometimes a career catastrophe for speaking out in their, according to their best knowledge, dissenting from the Fauci line. So I don't like, the Democrats are just, they're still continuing this idiotic Fauci hagiography with that he's some sort of a hero. None of that.
Yeah, what's great to hear about this is Fetterman. Have you heard some of his comments?
No, I haven't.
No, not recently.
Basically, he stuck to party lines for the longest time, and he admitted recently that his skepticism is really coming forward now, but at the time when it was going on, he was sticking to the wet market story. Admitting now that it didn't make a lot of sense to pin it all on this wet market when in the same vicinity there was a fucking virus lab working on coronaviruses,
Yeah.
And he regrets like his partisan silence.
The worst thing, Steve, is that 3/4 of the world believed it. Even though, what would be the odds? The most sort of the biggest lab in China to deal with this is literally like 3 miles away.
Yes,
everyone believes that wouldn't be connected, and that's the really sad thing is the public went for these like cock and bull stories and believed it.
Yeah,
I didn't believe it, not one bit. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, no, this point, what we would call, this is not what you would call scientific evidence. And because it's not scientific evidence, people have tended to ignore it. But it is important evidence.
Logically, isn't it? Just
and
logically.
It is very significant evidence. And, Jon Stewart, who's no friend to the right wing, he summed it up best, perhaps, when he said that let's put it this way, if there were an outbreak of chocolatey goodness near Hershey, Pennsylvania, you would know that the Hershey's chocolate factory was the source.
Right.
And it's the same deal. Actually, I should say that after all this, my guess is that it's a lab leak, but we can't know, right? It isn't proven that it's a lab leak.
But when the next one comes out, right, and they say it's a 10%, 20% death rate instead of what it really was, which was around about fucking 1% or under 1% of the people that caught it. It was really low.
0.1%.
Yeah, 0.1%. Sorry, yeah. Then you're gonna believe them this time, and they give you the cock and bull, and they give you all the bullshit and all the things that don't make logical sense. That's the thing.
I will believe it until someone brave says it's not true, and then I'll listen to them, and then I'll have to evaluate things.
And like you said last night, there was masters in their field, doctors, scientists, researchers of this, and they put their careers, and they knew they were doing it technically, in jeopardy, and they all lost their careers. And I think you were saying last time, so that came down to is it the medical MH or whatever it is in America, and Fauci.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Fauci was the one saying, get these off fucking social media, they're talking sense and facts. And basically he got them wiped off social media, and a lot of them lost their jobs.
Yeah, it was pretty disturbing. Back to just to wrap up what Fetterman said, this type of thing is going to happen in the future. And basically, whether a Republican or a Democrat is spearheading the correct answer, that shouldn't sway you from believing them. And it seems that the correct answer was irrelevant. It was only what your side said that mattered, because like people were not, like you guys are saying, the federal government forced Twitter to maintain some guidelines. I believe Jack Dorsey came out and talked about this, that there was basically heavy pressure from them to kill the whole lab and make it more of the wet market story.
Well, they
and
did.
as we discussed back then, we all kind of said, like, what the fuck is the point here? Wet market sounds disgusting. It doesn't make Chinese people look any better. They literally have poor animals half dead in cages, rotting, and they're buying them to eat. It's fucking gross, dude. But that's better.
This was a point made by Glenn Greenwald early on, that the wet market theory, if you were looking for which is the more potentially racist theory, though, the wet market theory is much more negative in terms of the Chinese than a lab leak.
Exactly.
So the idea that the lab leak theory was racist, I don't understand that. People have said it's racist, but how is it racist? How is that racist?
Because the Chinese are supposed to be good lab workers? I don't know.
China.
Right.
Another crazy one as well is the Chinese government was allowing people to fly out of China, but not around China. They realized they had a problem. So I believe they pulled like a lot of the internal flights and just kept spreading it around the world. Italy, if you remember rightly, was massively hit. And one of the reasons why it was massively hit is because the old made in Italy bollocks with all designer gear. They get a load of ting tongs from China, and they come down and they do like 3 months on and like 1 month off or whatever. And that's why Italy got hit really quick, really badly, is because China, that big host company, the host country, were taking textiles to Italy, doing their usual, work in Italy so they can say made in Italy. And then they, like I said, they're then going back. So either they're catching it in China and bringing it vice versa, like halfway through. But yeah.
Yeah,
So the Chinese government knew that's why they stopped a lot of internal flights.
I think additionally, like the response of various responses, was it, again, we're talking Sweden here, I think they had a sort of a communal acceptance, and basically they accepted that people were going to get it, and they said, that's it, just, we're not going to go fucking crazy here and shut the whole country down. And it wasn't.
Well, the other, see, there's so many things in those diaries, but one of those things, there was a claim made by, there was a thought early on about the vaccine, that a vaccine would prevent transmission of the virus, because logically the person wouldn't get it, therefore people who get the vaccine wouldn't transmit it. But that turned out not to be true, and they realized that they had the data before the end of 2020, and a lot of the vaccine mandates, a lot of the masking mandates, a lot of the lockdowns were based on the idea that you could stop the spread, and it turns out that there was no way to stop the spread. Everyone was going to get COVID from the beginning. There was no way to stop it. It was just too transmissible. Instead of, when the data showed that, instead of saying, okay, it's time to take what we know, end these lockdowns, get rid of the masks business, and so forth, they just doubled down, knowing they were wrong, because they didn't want to, they didn't want to admit that and lose face.
And Steve mentioned in Sweden, they had a different response. They done pretty well on the first lockdown for deaths, but they done they didn't do good on the second lockdown. But overall, if I remember rightly, I'm not 100%. Overall, Sweden done better than basically every European country. So their approach technically worked out the best out of everyone, which is basically not shutting down, just
No
isolate
shutdowns.
also isolate the vulnerable and keep the economy going.
Right.
And
You
yeah,
know,
so,
I anecdotally, I know some smokers, some cigarette smokers. I know some weed smokers, but the people who smoked cigarettes, I swear, either didn't get it at all or had very minor versions of COVID. I don't know if it was the nicotine or the smoke itself or completely coincidental,
well,
but
there was people saying cannabis,
I
um,
heard that too. Yeah.
not tobacco, but cannabis. And to be honest with you, where I live and where I reside is very working class, and I go into a lot of shops, and the handle wouldn't be washed for like decades from a time. You
Yeah.
know, like the inside of the door handle. You know, like Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Boots. They'll be doing like extra wiping and shit. I know for a fact there was none of that where I was going. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I just used to wash my hands when I came in. That's it. That's all I used to do.
That's it. It's not
There's one-
transpermeable. Wash your hands. Don't touch your fucking face. That's important.
yeah, I didn't go. Yeah, but like I said, I didn't go nuts, and I don't think I caught it. And if I did catch it, it wasn't for long.
Hmm.
I was smoking a lot of weed at the time, so I thought maybe that because remember like the research on it. I don't know.
Could have been.
So
I mean, I have a good friend who's a locksmith, and he was working full on through COVID. He never got it. He never got vaxxed. He never got anything.
yeah,
And he's touches. That's it.
I,
His fucking handles.
so all the way through the lockdown, I had a friend who had a hardware shop, and it was a bit like a screw fix thing, and he just buy stuff, loads of different stuff. So he was open, and he looked at the restrictions, and he said, like, he could open with his restrictions. I think come in as a, I don't know what the restrictions were, but he stayed open, and everyone around him was shut near enough. He earned more money, right, during lockdown, than he did in like the other years previous. Much more money, and they retired, and they're now touring Europe on it.
Oh yeah.
And they did not catch it. Now, because they're the only shop open, I suppose, apart from like the main supermarket shop, and they were opposite them, so they picked up all the traffic. Yeah,
Oh yeah. You're locked down. You want to fix stuff at home. You want to tinker around. There's a
yeah, of
hardware
course,
store that's
perfect, isn't
open.
it, for that sort
Fuck
of thing?
yeah.
And the worst thing about it all, he said, we tried to be careful, but like I didn't wear a mask, nor the missus. It was just like behind the counter. Yeah, we never really bothered with any of it in the end. Just really couldn't do it. Busy and all that, and yeah. So he said he literally hasn't changed anything, and they neither of them got it, and they must have fucking caught it.
Wild, man. I mean, I caught it a few times. I tested positive, and the one time was real bad for 12 hours, and I was out of it overnight. Slept for 16. Done.
Yeah,
Woke up almost
but
fine.
Steve, you said one thing. You said you caught it. You caught it a few times. You got tested, right?
Yeah.
So you were ill the once, and the other
Really
times
ill.
you were,
The other time it was just a head cold. Mild.
yeah. So I'm guessing that they're false positives on your test, because there was a huge thing about the tests giving false positives, because they'll give a positive on a dead virus. It doesn't have to be a live virus, I think.
Could have been.
So I'm guessing, it is a guess, that maybe you didn't really have the COVID the second or the third time. You had like a cold, where the first time you had it, but you've got the antibodies now. You're not actually going to catch it again, because basically, who talks about COVID now? Because it never gets a mention. Yet we're still catching it, I suppose, aren't we?
Yeah, it's
Well, after
what's it called when something becomes part of the society?
endemic.
Endemic. Yeah, it's not a pandemic anymore. It's endemic, and it's going to have its swells and its. But yeah, it really.
After Omicron,
Oh,
Yeah,
They were
Omicron was the
raised-
key, wasn't it? They were
Yeah.
basically, as it turns out, that was the way.
What was it?
When the Omicron variant started to take over and
I think it was
swamp the others,
was it the-
that was the end of the danger, basically.
Yeah.
It was really less harmful than the flu.
Basically, it was the vaccine. In an odd way, because it didn't hurt you.
Right.
And
Oh,
when
I
you
see what
got
you're
it,
saying.
yeah.
It sort of mirrored the vaccine.
Well,
it
yeah, it
created
made you
that
immune.
natural immunity, which we
You get
weren't
Yeah,
natural
supposed to
immunity, and
Yeah.
you don't get particularly sick. They're probably still, if you're elderly. I mean, I think the same people that were at risk are still at risk, and that it's a relatively small group that that needs special consideration, perhaps even in the vaccine. But
Mhm.
the rest of us don't really need to worry about
So-
it.
Don't forget when Trump said it came from China, and then you got Pelosi and that other like skeleton-looking guy in the Democrats hugging Chinese people in New York. Fucking retarded or what?
Yeah, that was silly. I mean, Trump trolling that reporter when she said, or he kept saying China virus, I think, and she said why, and he said
It come from China.
because it came from China. She was fuming, upset, but he was
she was.
trolling.
She was
That's-
really triggered, and she knew she couldn't be triggered. She was trying to say something, but be respectful. But
Yeah.
be butch. No.
I don't think Trump can do that anymore. I gotta say, I don't think he's got that. I think he's showing his age a bit myself.
Yeah.
His funny stuff isn't funny anymore. His, any.
He is.
He's just
He is.
weird.
Still,
He's out in
he
left
is.
fucking field a little bit now.
Yeah, he is a bit left field, but he is still the funniest president you've ever had. Like, and you're never going to get a funnier one.
Reagan had some moments.
Okay.
Reagan was a trained actor, a good actor, and he had some funny jokes.
But Trump, like he even makes up words, and they go viral. What was the one he did?
Kofefe?
Yeah, something like that.
Nobody knows what that is to this day.
Yeah, but that's literally just like I'm just going to just make something up, put it on, tweet it, and watch everyone get triggered.
I've seen the license plate, and so I'm sure more than one guy. I know one guy here in Massachusetts got the Kofefe license plate. So there's got to be people in other states. You have vanity plates down there, right, Last Dance?
Absolutely.
You pay a lot
I'm
extra.
64, not 80.
All right, let me edit your mic settings. You're low.
Me?
Yeah. It switched to automatically adjust mic volume. You're not on manual control for some reason.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why that happened. But yeah, Fauci back in the news. Is anything going to happen because of it? Probably not, right?
Well, they said no. He's going to basically, when they talk about it and they say he's going to get done and all that. A couple of the pundits are saying basically nothing's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, Rand Paul had a good go on him, but nothing's going to happen.
His lawyer got kicked out, which was
Yeah,
pretty funny.
Yeah,
They-
rightly so.
They kept telling him to stop talking, and he wouldn't shut his fucking trap. Not a good lawyer at all. Not a good look. He should have just whispered everything into Fauci's ear. He wasn't there. It wasn't about him. He should have not said anything. Hawley, hitting Fauci with asking him the color of the rug and the walls, and was this and Fauci pleading the fifth to everything was comical. But what my question to you is, if the guy has immunity and pleading the fifth is to not self-incriminate yourself, he can't incriminate himself. He's immune from criminal prosecution.
Yeah, that's what last
he's
time
immune from federal criminal prosecution for a certain period, and I forget what that is. So the question, let's be honest, he took the fifth because he's embarrassed, not because he's he's worried about criminal prosecution. He wouldn't be able to defend himself because he's wrong, and this is his best way of salvaging his reputation. If he actually answered honestly or even dishonestly, it would make it even worse, his reputation.
Right. He'd talk himself into an incredible pretzel of ridiculous tangents and trying to answer one thing when it wouldn't make any sense in another
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
There was a lot of flip flopping with their guidance too, like you just pointed out, how
Thank
they,
you, Bottle Cap.
for all that time, basically said it's going to stop transmission, and then all of a sudden, it's not going to stop transmission. We're all like, wait, what? And then,
Is that Brother B?
hey, what up, dude? Yeah, we're fishing tomorrow.
All right.
I remember when pensioners got the jab around about December 2020. I think they came in the UK about the 16th or something crazy. And by January, they were all fucking walking around with no masks and on the bus and stuff. And then all of a sudden, they all caught it like within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and like infections went through the roof. And it turns out that you were more likely to get infected if you had the jab. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know it
Yeah.
was a physiological thing.
So they did a proper test on it, where it turns out you are more likely to get the coronavirus if you would have had the jab rather if you hadn't.
Interesting. I
It
would
was
have thought
close.
that would have been from just now I got the jab, I'm not going to be as strict about everything and maybe
Well,
raise
yeah,
the
I mean,
numbers.
the pensioners and the old people who were wearing like triple masks and all that, like 4 weeks previous, yeah, they took it all in. They were all in on it. The narrative.
I got
Sadly,
you.
they listened again, and they thought they were confident, and then the death rate went up, the infection rate went up, and yeah, I mean, but basically, I don't know if I can say it, but I think that was taken along about the actual thing itself, and then if it made you more prone to get it, that thing you've been praying for weeks, going, please, Dr. Fauci, give us your jab, oh please, let's do a sing song and some sort of 1960s dance thing. Oh yeah, with that fat British actor, that twat. Remember that advert he did, dancing around with umbrellas? He done
No, we didn't get that one.
oh god, it was a James Corden. James Corden done like
Oh yeah, the late night guy.
he done a dance thing in the rain, and they changed it around the lyrics to go in Fauci and stuff. It was fucking cringe as fuck.
Are you talking about sodium pentothal, Mr. E? Possibly. I don't know if that is right. I believe it is, though. Truth serum. Yeah.
They said, give us the ouchie, Mr. Fauci and stuff. Oh God! And they were singing in the rain or something with umbrellas, and it was just. And it turns out, everything that the normies were praying for, that was killing them.
Yeah, there was some actors, couples, famous people that were in the Fauci crew, or where they had sweatshirts made and they do posts on social media, and somebody went out and made this speech about calling him the ultimate hero. And I mean the disgusting elevating of this guy, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way, and the way he seemed to embrace it. It was like,
Well-
he never turned it down. He never said, just let me do my job. He was always fucking drinking it up. Like, yeah.
We know that from the diaries that he
Right, last
absolutely.
time. Tell us the diary. Tell us the entry with the diary where he says he's the most famous person in the world.
It's very similar to John Lennon's comment in the early 1960s that the Beatles were more famous than Jesus. That got he had to apologize for it.
Yeah.
Fauci wrote in his diary that he's the most famous person in the world, or at least one of the most famous people in the world. I mean, he was absolutely
Glee in it.
in love with all the attention he got from celebrities and so on.
Wow.
It's something to behold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where in what he should have said in his diary is that I'm really concerned. I hope we're doing everything we can to help prevent this problem and solve it. And what his hopes and fears were. But no. All we're talking, oh wow, I'm more famous than anyone today.
It is surprising that these diaries were released, to tell you the truth. How did that come to pass?
He wrote them and emailed them on government systems.
Wow.
They're not his property. You can't.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Who's the fucking fucker who came across those and was like, "Hold on, we got something here."
Oh my God.
Exactly right.
I don't know.
Can you imagine having like such an high IQ and then being so like logically retarded?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to be. You don't really need an IQ more than Moshe 85 to realize that if you're going to do something in work or you're going to talk shit, that you wouldn't do it on a work email thing because it. And if you work for the government, that changes everything because it's not even your CEO or your immediate boss is going to see it, but that's available to the whole public.
Mm-hmm.
If applied for.
Really wild, man. I mean,
I do want to have the last word on Fauci whenever you're done with him.
he had done some. I didn't realize this until recently. There was some animal experiments involved with some of this gain of function stuff. And I've always been troubled by these things. But I don't know. What else do I know?
The
Who
Beagles
Yeah.
that got
It was
brutally
bothersome.
killed for. Yeah.
Data. Yeah.
So, I think it. I think it is disgusting that people treat him like a hero. Where's the rest of the gang? Well,
Gang's all
They're-
here, buddy.
some of them are traveling, and some of them are coming later. And you're part of the gang, so hop in.
Make,
He's treated like a hero. That is just so. It's just so wrong. He was wrong in a significant way about so many things, important things. And I think we have to go back before COVID to when two scientists started the whole gain of function ball rolling. One guy was named Ron Fauchier, and then there was a Japanese scientist I can't remember his name, sorry. And they both modified viruses to make them more powerful, dangerous, through a method called serial passage, which is you run it through an animal and run it through another animal, serially run it through animals and see how it mutates.
right. So
And-
essentially, you're trying to cause a really harmful mutation.
A really harmful mutation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Scary.
And they published their results, and there was a divide in the scientific community. I don't know if this was 2013 maybe, where some people were like, no, don't do that, you're going to kill us all, or there's a risk you're going to kill us all. And others were, there's always a risk of a virus coming out that is so much worse than the last one. We need to create them to study them in order to defend against them.
That's what they would. That was their
Right.
thing, wasn't it?
Now-
And this was done years before as well, wasn't it? And he was involved in it then. So when he was questioned,
he was on the side of those who said we need to continue to do gain of function research. It's good for humanity. We'll learn how to defend against serious viruses, and I do believe that the COVID virus was caused by a lab leak from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. If you believe that, then he was wrong. He was wrong. It was the other side that said it's too dangerous to create these super bugs. They can escape. He was wrong. The bug got created. It did escape. It killed millions. And he was a major funder of gain of function research. He funded the EcoHealth Alliance, Peter Daszak, which is a British organization. And the EcoHealth Alliance funded the Wuhan Institute of Virology and the particular researcher who's doing gain of function research on bat coronaviruses in a level 2 biohazard lab at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Right?
And plus, Fauci was doing this years before it all came out, before COVID. And when Rand Paul questioned him in the Senate, I believe, he turned around and said, no, it's not gain of function. And he said, what is gain? He said, well, and it turns out that Fauci, they changed the name from gain of function to gain of progress or something, Yeah. So basically, they changed the name of it to sound better. Right. It's like, it's just so to see, it's just awful. It really is.
There is a technical definition of gain of function, I guess it doesn't, somehow it didn't meet it. However, there was also an informal definition, and Fauci, in his own diaries, described it as gain of function, the very same thing that he claimed in congressional testimony. Congressional testimony was not gain of function. Right. So he, the distinction is trivial. We can call it all gain of function with perfectly good accuracy, because it does in fact gain functionality in a dangerous way.
So is it gain knowledge of functionality of said virus?
No, gain of function means the virus gains functionality. It gets more deadly. Gets better, or in other words, deadlier, or more transmissible, or both.
So the intention is to do that, and the result is
then they treat it.
Data.
They try and treat it. Treat it then.
Then they see how they would develop vaccines. They study the genome to see
various data. But if you were involved, public health data, science data, genome data,
if you were involved in vaccines and you were like good friends with Big Pharma, then obviously you could then sort of look forward to making a vaccine.
But there. I'll tell you what happened in the Wuhan Institute of Virology and also in other labs. This is not just in China. This was done in the West too. Similar stuff. Right. And what they would do is you ask, what's the point of making these super bugs when you can't, it's unethical to infect humans with them to see what happens. So they have an answer for that. They created mice they call them humanized mice it made them have the similar receptors. I think they called an ACE2 receptor or something, so that they could infect the mice and see see how the virus progresses. So, they had a complete system, gain of function, modify the virus.
Human genetics.
And give it to a mouse that's got human genetics in it.
Yeah. Human mice hybrids.
Human mice hybrids. Please.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. The Fly. Holy right, exactly. Shit.
What's up, Banks?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, gentlemen. I hope everybody's well. I won't be long in case you lose some viewers, because it seems every time I come on the panel, some people drop off.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Banksy, I seen you downloaded my favorite clip, the old the old gummy sweet jar thing on immigration.
Oh yeah. I saw it on, I think it was X or Instagram, and I just, yeah, I decided my YouTube shorts are just going to be random shit that I find on the internet and repost. I'm not going to follow, because I want to follow like a click with my main videos, like on the streets, reporting of events or protests. But my shorts, I'll upload whatever the hell I just come across.
It's a great demonstration. I've put it on here. I think is it the gumball theory? Is it? What is it?
Yeah, it's just to demonstrate the kind of the level of poverty in the world, and how the little migration that the Americans, well, in this case it's America, but I think the Europeans also will fall into it. The little amount of migrations that they take doesn't do anything to impact global poverty and global,
It's like 3 billion people in poverty in the world.
Yeah.
Just because the Americans take
doesn't even make a dent.
I've seen it. We've shown it here.
Yeah.
No, there you go.
It's the realization. What should happen if you should literally just shut it all off now and just concentrate on yourselves, because you can't help anyone else in any real numbers.
That's
And
what
no
people
one-
always have done.
The interesting thing with YouTube Shorts, I think a view on a YouTube Short counts as a view on your channel.
Yeah, it does, and that's what I mean. That's why I just kept it as random, because I just don't want to. I want to just see if I see something interesting, I want to just stick it as a short. But
you can. I put a friggin' video of me catching a fish, and I got something like 730 views in like 24 hours, which was a lot for me. So shorts can pay off, but you'll never make anything. I'm never going to make anything anyways.
No.
But you can work your way
financially,
up with shorts.
It's not a.
With shorts, you can get up to 100,000 views a lot faster than you will with long-form videos. That's for damn
The good
sure.
thing with shorts, the only advantage financially, it's nothing. It's pennies, so you get nothing out of that. But the good thing with shorts is if one of your shorts goes viral or catches on, it promotes the channel, and then people find your channel, and then they might subscribe, or they might just watch your other videos on the channel. But I've posted videos on my brother's dog, and they have been the most successful shorts. I've had thousands of views on that little shit. I've been telling him, I said, dude, start a channel or an Instagram or something for this dog. This dog's gonna make you a fortune. She's cute as hell, and people love that shit. They just love dog videos.
Gotta have a lot of personality, but I mean, there's people who get dogs just to have them be on Instagram and make money, and I assume they're good dog owners. I hope. I have no problem with that as long as the dog's happy. Fuck it, make some dough off the fucker too.
Yeah,
right?
I just randomly record my brother's dog just playing and just sitting around and stuff. She's just doing whatever she does. And
this guy right here is
based.
Well, exactly, just what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you got a gold mine sitting in your lap half the day. Trigger is like, you should literally just do a trigger only channel.
Half of the people who see him greet Trigger first. When I see your videos at like a fucking demonstration, half of them say, "Hey, Trigger, what's up?"
Yeah, and literally, it happens more often than not that they'll say, "I looked at you, then I looked at your dog, then I knew who you were,"
right.
Because basically you put the two together. It happens more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trigger is a little star.
I mean, you'd have been good in a different platform like Instagram or TikTok, I think, because that's short.
In Instagram and TikTok, definitely. Yeah, you do really well on that. Loads of people have entire channels just for their entire, Instagram pages just for their dog. But like you said,
quite salacious lately. Instagram is getting quite pornographic all of a sudden. I don't know what that's about.
You think?
Have you noticed?
Dude,
it's
straight up corn. I mean, most of the women on there are OnlyFans models anyway, and they're just using it as titillation to promote and get guys over to their Instagram. OnlyFans.
Yeah, a few months ago, it was like, yeah, you'd see a cute chick in a bikini, whatever. Hey, hot, you know. Now all of a sudden, there's vagina, there's breasts, there's everything, and it's fucking right there on the screen.
But
I'm
don't
like,
thing
forget,
is-
don't forget the big bad social media company is X. Don't forget, it's X. Everyone else
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fine.
Apparently, yeah, they're the one. Well, the
just
thing
that.
is, you guys. I don't know if you. I mean, maybe they changed, but Facebook. A lot of my friends on Facebook, because I started Facebook in 2008, because a girl in our office said, "Let's all join Facebook so that we can share office party video pictures on there, and I'll send it to you." And so that's the only reason I started a Facebook account at all. But most of the people on my Facebook were corn stars, because those were the girls who were on, and these were the people I associated with, because that's the company I worked for. So everything I did was around that corn industry. So all the girls that I was following, and you know, I just sort of like, yeah, okay, I'll follow you, whatever, were all corn stars, and they had fully nude images on their Facebook pages. Facebook wasn't this like, you know, uptight sort of no corn environment back in the day, at least when it first started. It was
Sure.
fully off, you know, just do as you like.
yeah.
So it was open for all. But I think they had to tighten the, you know, the fences, or close in the fences a little bit, because of the family aspect of it. They wanted to be family friendly and stuff. And
But it's mostly just,
kid-friendly.
like I said, it's mostly just not tackled, just because it's that Zuckerberg guy. You know, he's on side, which is allow it and just like quieten it down a bit. You know what I mean? Because nothing's really changed, I think. I mean, the amount of nonsense on his social media is off the scale, isn't it? And it's been a problem for a fucking long time that I know of.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, there's a lot of. Oh, who's that? Do we have another person down there? No, that's just a blank screen. Okay.
I just don't
There's a
understand.
lot of
when-
white supremacy. We talked about this briefly last week. I said to Last Dance, I'm seeing a lot of it, and he's like, on social media, and I'm like, yeah. And then, but I actually don't see it in reality. So I think it's just keyboard warriors, I guess, right?
Well, they have
the,
those.
the neo sort of Nazi stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that has been around.
You want about that Gypsy Crusader and Handsome Truth and all them lot?
No, more just like comment sections in any of a million videos that are out there are just laden
Yeah, I mean, the
with
thing
racist.
Well, if that's the case, if that's the case, it's the Pakistanis, because you remember that Banksy with the England missed the
Well,
penalty?
yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of that comes from India,
97%
Pakistan.
abroad, and about
Rage
60%
baiting.
Pakistan.
But the thing is, no,
what
there
it is.
are genuine like neo-Nazi kids. I mean, there's a neo-Nazi cat group in Israel. In Israel, they have their own neo-Nazis, Jewish neo-Nazis. So go figure that one out. But the fact is that these groups have been around a lot. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day there was Murdoch or something. This was all over Discord. My God, Discord was just like swamped with neo-Nazis. They just go underground. I mean, I would imagine they're still on Gab, because I don't go on Gab anymore. I just stopped using it. It was just nothing but Nazis. It was literally everyone on there was just going, I want to suck Hitler off tonight. I was like,
Yeah.
guys, you guys are wearing your heart on your chest a little too much. Maybe you should repress some of that. We should bring shaming back. But yeah, I mean, it's just there are places that are just full of. But the thing is, they're all underground. Like Discord had to kick them off. A lot of them, they were all over Discord when Discord first started. God knows where they are now. But there's so many. There's new social media companies popping up every 5 minutes.
There was one that I was looking at my apps the other day that I still have that. Getter. It's GETTR.
Getter. Yeah.
I got
that.
an account together.
That was like
I barely
5
use it.
years ago. I mean, I think I got on that because either Hayden or Drone Tech or somebody was moving over to fucking Getter to try and start a new thing, but it fizzled out.
Well, I got on there because Tommy Robinson was the only platform Tommy Robinson wasn't banned
Yeah,
from.
that's what I got on there.
And also what was his name? The guy who helped Trump get elected the first time.
I know.
Steve Bannon.
Yeah.
Steve Bannon. He's still on
Yeah.
there. Actually, he's still publishing a lot on there. But after when Elon, you see, Elon cut the legs off from all of these guys, Getter, Gab, Parler. He basically killed all these guys by buying Twitter,
I had
because
Parler and all.
who's going to go anywhere else when Twitter is offering you the same thing as Parler and Getter and all the rest? The only reason I went to these places was because Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube were just locked down by lefties, and there was no free speech. But once Elon made that move, that's why he's hated. That's why they hate him so much, because
Yeah.
he did something that, first of all, ruined all these other fringe sites, but also it's a mainstream social media platform which doesn't restrict you like Facebook and because of, by the way, what Twitter did and Elon did, Facebook and YouTube had to ease up. They have because it's competition, so they had to
Correct.
ease up on their restrictions. That's why the left despises it. They will I will promise you, either before the end of this Labour government, or by the time if we get a second Labour government in this country, they will ban X. That is on the books for sure. For sure.
Won't he just put a VPN up and call it XVPN?
No, but the thing is that I don't know if you saw that new legislation where they want to ban all the 16-year-olds from social media from next year. If you read that, no, they're not stupid. They're looking at VPNs as well. They're looking at what VPNs they should ban and what VPNs they would allow. They can't ban all of them because businesses use VPNs all the time. So you can't ban all VPNs across the board. You'll destroy, entire businesses. But they'll ban consumer level VPNs, etc., etc. And by the way, web browsers like Firefox and Opera are offering VPNs built into the browser now. So you can just jump on a VPN.
I despise seeing kids on social media and computers and shit all day. I think it's bad for them. But what I despise even more is government fucking overreach. Because them fucking telling kids and telling parents, we're going to take it out of your hands and do it ourselves, I think it's completely
We know
horseshit.
best.
Nanny
It's
state.
horseshit.
It's the police nanny state. The thing is, Steve, you see, you would think this is the bullshit that they sell all the time. Oh, we do. But what about the children? Think about the children. Won't somebody think of the children?
Exactly.
This isn't about the children. This is about digital ID. Because every adult in Britain will have to register their internet use of the said social media. So if I want to get on YouTube, I have to register my full legal name and address with YouTube, and then I'll be allowed on YouTube. Same with Facebook, same with X, etc., etc. And then the government, if you say the wrong thing or have the wrong thought on X, the government will go to X knowing that they have your full name and address and then get it. So essentially, it is going to destroy British people having any kind of anonymity online. They don't want you to be anonymous online. This is about digital ID and about destroying anonymity online. So that
Really, if you bring it to another level, and then they're going to say, but you can watch TV and movies all day? We don't care about that. It's just about this specific niche. You can go on your computer. You can watch TV. You can watch movies on your computer, TV shows, whatever. But you just can't engage with other people in a larger social media type setting. It's
Well, this is for
really
16 under
strange...
you play video games all
what
day,
if,
every day.
What if right.
They want to
What if
dummy
a
down.
kid gets up and likes to fuck around on their phone for a while, have some breakfast, check in with fucking IG, and go out and go fucking fishing all day or playing football with his friends, and then at night maybe he, bounces around TikTok. What's the fucking
And does
harm?
some homework.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Well,
just
I'm
can't do
talking
that.
in the summer.
The
But,
thing is,
I just don't get the all-out ban of just this one thing. Not gaming, not movies, not TV, just social media.
Yeah. It's because
capricious, arbitrary.
it's getting it. This is what I mean. There's nefarious reasons behind it. It's not about the children. They don't give a shit about. This country literally hid gangs raping girls for 50 years. You think they give a shit about kids? They don't give a shit about kids.
it's not like they show the same level of defensiveness for children in other venues. It's just the venue. It's the venue where they really see the need to be able to identify people by name and to eliminate any kind of anonymity. And it's just a coincidence that we're going to, well, now we need to protect the children. So you're going to have to take the first steps towards, giving your driver's license or whatever, your passport to log into a website.
Yeah, you have somebody like Tim Tebow, famous college quarterback who went on to fizzle out as an NFL star, but yet he's up there talking about child trafficking and rape and the worst things in the world and how we can stop it and how many predators there are online. And the fucking UK government is talking about how we can stop kids from going on social fucking media. Like, what the fuck? Like you're saying, man, have some concern for the real things that matter. Or maybe this is just easy and popular, and that's why they're doing it. I don't know.
I wish I could say it was just the left, but you tell me, Banksy, what's it like in the UK? Is it just the left that wants to, keep track of people in case they
all do.
Say the wrong things, or is it
the Conservatives were the ones who authored the Online Safety Act?
That's what I
and
thought.
They were the ones who brought it into legislation and passed it, and then it was under Labour that it was enacted. It was like, because they usually say, okay, they passed the law like in this year, but they'll wait a couple of years until they start to actually enforce it. So the Labour government enforced the Online Safety Act by banning porn and all of these things, but it was Conservatives who authored it. So no, we don't have this left and right. We have a uni party now. There's one party, and their agenda just moves forward, regardless of which of these Labour and Conservatives you vote. This is why we're now moving on to things like Reform and Restore. We're moving to other parties, third parties, because the British have basically come to realize, no, they've just got one party. No matter which side you vote for, this agenda just carries on as if nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Now, Banksy, you missed our talk of Reform and Restore earlier. Obviously, because these two exist and some of their ideologies overlap, your vote is getting completely diluted by having two parties. You need to have them unify.
Yeah, there is something.
You're going to
because
lose. One side's going to lose from the other, and vice versa. You can't stop it. They're too close.
There is that. I agree with you, and you can see it reflected not so much in the by-election where our current, Lord and King, Mr. Burnham got elected, but the mayor of Manchester, because Andy Burnham became the MP and became Prime Minister, so there was a vacuum for the mayor of Manchester, and Reform and Restore and all these other parties were gunning for it. And Labour got elected again. And I'll be honest, when I look at the numbers of votes, if Restore hadn't run and those chunks of votes had gone to Reform, they would have made a difference. Yes, they would have actually.
No, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they were 40.
I see it.
They were 46%, and when you add Reform and Restore together, I think it's 28.
Yeah, no.
So even when you add them together, it wouldn't have made a difference.
They would have still lost. Because Restore got 111,928, and this is the first round. And Labour got 251,444, and Restore only had 46,000. So even if you added the 46,000 to the 111 of Reform, they still would have lost. Yeah, you're right.
Can I just bring up a subject that Banksy will know about this? I can guarantee you this now. So I'll bring it up. I just literally put into Google Sudanese failed asylum seeker school petrol bomb knife. Do you know about this story, Banksy? You heard about this one?
Oh yeah. I saw it. I saw it before Paul Joseph Watson made a video about it.
Yeah.
And now Paul Joseph Watson's made a video about it as well. The guy was just, he claimed he was all upset about the fact that his asylum case was taking too long, so he
You know,
decided to take a petrol
so-
can and a
yeah,
machete to
Banksy.
a school.
I've got the AI breakdown here. So he's 21-year-old, failed as asylum seeker. He's failed 3 times. What does he do in the country? Can you ask me that question, please, anyone?
What does he do in the
Failed
country?
3 times. Okay, he's still in the country.
So he's been
what
rejected for asylum 3 times in this country, and he's
he's still
hanging
here.
around.
But it doesn't mean he has to leave.
Correct.
Well,
Don't-
yeah, because we
don't ask
have
me what's
appeal
why.
cases. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
So he was location. So he was intercepted at Edgewood Community anyway, Manchester. Weapons. His name is Ben. Carried a hammer, a hatchet, a 7-inch kitchen knife, and a jerry can full of petrol. The school status, right? Well, this is hilarious. So he went in the school, right? I'll give you ad lib it now. He went in the school with all this kit. And obviously, he looks like a doctor. So there was on-site builders at the time in the school, and they looked at him. And they thought he's one of those newly arrived doctors. We're going to ring the police. So they rang the police and challenged him, and the police actually arrested him on school property. So, but he had all this gear on him, right? Now think about what he had on him, right? Hatchet, knife, petrol. So they nicked him, and it turns out he went to a school the day previous, and there was no one at the school the day previous. It's a different school. You know why? Because it was summer holidays. This low IQ beast, thankfully, was beaten by summer holidays. That's why we're not. That's why this is not another Stockport.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. That's literally why. School holidays. And you know what he was sentenced to, boys? He was sentenced to 2 years in prison.
Yeah, and he'll be out in 10 months.
Yeah, he'll be out
I'm
in
sure
10
he'll
months.
come
Given-
out a
gi- given good
peaceful
behavior.
And do you reckon
man
he'd be?
who will-
Do you reckon he'd be deported?
Oh yeah, fully reformed. Fully reformed. He'll in
Well,
fact be a British gentleman by the time he comes out. He'll be smoking a cigar and wearing a bowler hat.
and he'll
So
take up engineering again.
So this is what his charges were: pleaded guilty of criminal damage, possession of ablated articles, and possession of offensive weapons on school premises. He received 2-year prison sentence with credit for 1 year he had already spent in custody. So basically, he's already spent the time. He's coming out. He's going to be sentenced, and he's walking. The
Well,
judge
yeah.
noted the Home Office would need an address for his deportable. Wait a minute. Sorry, Home Office would need to address his deportable or immigration status upon release. So they haven't decided. Do you know what I
They
mean?
need
It's so
to
pathetic.
address it.
Yeah,
Sorry?
it's so pathetic. It would just literally be the next flight. I want him out. I want him cuffed for the ankles and the wrists. I want him back so we can't spit him anywhere. And he's gonna go. Where we put the dogs, and we put like primate. Put him in there, out the way, in the hole.
Sorry, Lastas, what did you say? I missed that.
Instead of just saying he's going to be deported,
Just to
we're
put.
going to address the deportation issue.
Exactly.
Just deport him. It's not that
don't.
hard.
By the way, this man, here's the rub. He failed 3 times to get asylum in a country that approves 90% of asylum cases. How shit his asylum application must have been to get rejected 3 times.
And they haven't diagnosed him as crazy as well. They said this, right? One, he's not a super retard. 2, they say he's not crazy. It's just, I don't know.
I mean, maybe-
Can you imagine what would have happened if there was 500 people in the school? In fact, it says on the list here, prior actions. The day before his arrest, he was also spotted acting suspiciously and causing minor criminal damage to Holly Farm Roman Catholic College
Who's this
in
now? Who are you
Rockville.
talking about?
The same guy the day previous went to a different school. But
I
obviously,
wasn't here for
Sudanese-
who's the guy?
sorry.
Oh yeah, Steve
he's a
missed it. He wasn't
Sudanese asylum seeker.
Yeah, so he's failed asylum seeker 3 times in the UK, and what he did, he went to a school with weapons, carried a hammer, a hatchet, a 7-inch kitchen knife, and a jerry can half filled with petrol.
I prefer my Africans plastic.
Yeah, so he walked on. he walked onto the. He walked on.
Oh, that was
Cool.
perfect,
Damn,
Smoke
that's
Steve.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's been sentenced for 2 years, Steve, because basically, because he couldn't carry out his actions, they can't prove that's what his actions were going to be. Do you understand? I mean, why would you carry a hatchet, a 7-inch kitchen knife, and a hammer with half-filled jerry can to a school?
I know the answer to that. He's a cook, and he's a
He's
carpenter.
bro. No, fans need
Let me
all
give
sorts.
let me give you the defense. Let me
He
give
was
you
going
the
to show
defense.
them a culinary delight.
Let me give last dance. The defense is good. His defense team maintains that he had no intention to harm or injure anybody. They described it as a bizarre and complex act triggered by severe personal distress regarding his family left in Sudan. So, yeah, and one of the things they did say, this is it, the goal. According to the prosecution, he was increasingly frustrated by his inability to work or get legal status. He explicitly staged the incident to create a scene for attention.
That'll
So
help.
that was the defense.
Interesting. Yeah, I
That could have been a Stockport, Steve.
Dude,
Southport. Could have been a Southport again.
there's
Taylor
two sides
Swift.
of it. There's the legal side of it of what do you do, and then there's the reactive side that says, who cares? Just fucking lock him up. I don't want him in fucking society. How about, even better, send him back to where he came from? That seems
Yeah.
logical. Give
Yeah,
him
but-
the old
but-
ice baby,
Too
action.
logical. It's too logical, Steve. So what they've done, because he's been in prison for a year already facing this trial, he's not going to serve a day in prison. He's going to get sentenced. He's going to go out on license straight away. And what they said, they're going to have a look at his immigration status. Have a look.
That would be a good thing
Yeah,
for them to
he's
ponder.
definitely.
I mean, when you say Sudanese, that there's a country there. Yeah, he could go back there. Sudan.
Yeah, you look
I
at
know
his
it's-
eyes.
It's a shithole country if I've ever heard it. It's way up there on the pantheon of shitholes, but don't care. Send them the
Yeah.
fuck back.
So if you put his name in, BOTHDOUKDENG, you look at his eyes.
You know, I'm more worried about the way that Hendon is treating their officers, the way that's working, how much money's gone into that bullshit, right? You know where Hendon is, don't you? Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Hendon Police College, but yeah, I don't know what that's got to do with this.
Well, it's got to do with the same way that they treat everything, don't they? Because, a criminal is neither black or white, is he? He's a victim.
Oh, the
If it's a white
criminal's the
victim,
victim.
then he's the perpetrator. Huh.
Huh.
There we go.
interesting.
Yeah, this is the whole victim, oppressor, oppressed narrative. The communist narrative that's been, and because he comes from a shithole nation that was probably at some point colonized by some European country at some point. I'm sure Sudan has some kind of a colonial, history.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I'm not entirely sure.
who
but-
sold the slaves though? Who sold us the slaves?
They
Oh, the
didn't they
Sudanese.
themselves? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Sudanese people
Yeah,
sold
to
us
the
the
Arabs.
Sudanese
Yeah,
slaves.
yeah, to the Arabs. Yeah, the Arab slave trade. But
Nobody beats King Leopold, right? He was the one from
Belgium.
was Belgium. I think that guy might have been the most ruthless of all ever of occupiers.
Ironically,
Rubber plantations.
Yeah.
but ironically, Belgium is one of the most dominated Islamic European countries right now. The Muslims literally they had their own. At one point, they started a Sharia party in Belgium a few years back, and I said that's pretty much coming to Britain. I actually overshot the dating. I thought it would be like by now or a couple of years ago, in fact. But I think the Muslims are playing it smarter over in Britain. They've basically co-opted other parties, namely at the moment the Green Party, and so they're running quote unquote under the Green Party banner, but it's it's Islamic Sharia party effectively. Most of them win and then they go, "This is for Gaza." What kind of a British politician wins an election and goes, "This is for Gaza"? It's like, I mean, imagine if an Israeli one did that. My God,
Right.
let's string him up.
Now, is it Belgium where is it Charlie Hebdo shooters or the
France.
the Bataclan
No,
shooters?
the Charlie Hebdo shooters
came from.
Yes,
Yeah,
they had their
some of them
weapon
come from
stashes and all of
Belgium.
that in Belgium,
In
but they
Belgium.
came down to
Yeah.
France. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when that fucking special police, special forces went in there, the fucking gunfire between
Oh yeah.
the terrorists and the police, it was like
Well,
full automatic, just minutes
one
of
with-
it back and forth, man.
The one was on the
Like
the
point
one was
blank
on the
range.
the one was on the run for about a year, and maybe even a bit longer if someone wants to Google it, if I'm rightly. And it's funny, he was the most wanted man in Europe. There was no sight or sound of him, but guess where he was? He was in that zip code, as you would like to call it, that postcode in Europe, was what we call it. He was literally in that zone where they said he was going to be. And he was hidden for over a year, I believe. And there's nothing the authorities really could do to find him in the end. But they got him. But yeah, he was there all the fucking time, of all accounts.
Wild,
Gentlemen,
man.
although kind of on the same subject, especially with the Charlie Hebdo thing you guys mentioned, I've got a video here. I was saving it to play it actually on one of my own live streams.
Sure.
But I love your opinions. If you look at the private chat, it's actually a voice recording, so it's not even really a video. But I want to get you guys' opinion. Is this fake or should I run with this? Because I'm not sure if it's fake or real.
Are they talking about like immigrants and an army and stuff in the UK?
Yeah, it's a video about a
How
guy
did I-
who's
how did
a
I
hotel
get that
owner.
out of you then? How did I literally know that's what you were going to say?
I don't know. I mean, we must
You literally
share the
just
same
said
Twitter
we're
account because I got this on my Twitter feed, and
So-
this
so
guy
what-
he's a hotelier. He's a bed and
Yeah.
breakfast. He runs a bed and breakfast.
Wow,
And
I
he
can't
was
believe
paid
that.
by the British government to house at least 150 of these migrants, and he has come across certain boxes that were delivered by the British Army
And the
to
keys
these
and locks.
migrant men, and when he disobeyed the order that he was given, that not to open this envelope and not to look inside this envelope, he then found some keys, and he found that these keys opened these
Okay.
boxes, and these boxes had a bunch of grenades and AK-47s in it.
This
Now-
sounds like propaganda. Just
Yeah,
immediately
That's what I
what
mean.
I'm struck with.
that's how I listen to it.
But if you-
I
if
listened
you-
to
if
it
you play
today,
the link-
and I thought to myself, no.
This is what I mean. Is this all? I mean, I was like, is this AI crap? Is this just a bunch of guys trying to get clicks, rage baiting, or is this actually happening?
Well, no one's showing their
Sure,
face.
my
bro.
right hand
I know he's a
man just
whistleblower.
watched it. What do you have to say about it, Last Dance? I'm sure you just watched it.
Watched what? I was watching the guy, the Sudanese guy, getting taken down.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
right,
yeah. Play that footage, please.
Okay,
Last
I got
night. Don't keep that to yourself.
that.
Play
Okay.
that
YouTube
fabulous
safe?
bean footage.
Yeah, generally, I'm a bit worried about playing things from X onto YouTube because they're not always kosher.
I'll play it, but
Yeah.
it looks like prop to me.
Get on the ground now.
Yeah, it's alright. It's
You're a pretty good.
edited.
Keep your stuff for now. Yeah.
Fake screens.
Down there. I've got it down.
I don't think this guy's
Trying
right.
to see what's in there. He does have a
head,
hammer with him as well, and a hatchet.
Yeah.
He's
Right,
faking
right now,
it.
you're
He's
under
fucking
arrest for
faking it,
possession
dude.
of-
Right,
under
that's
suspicion
good.
of possessing an offensive weapon. Okay, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioning something which later on in court, anything you do say may
Wait,
be
isn't
given
that it?
evidence. Okay. Do you understand the caution? Right, I'll explain to you at custody with a translator as well.
Mate, stop there.
All right, kill it. Last
Stop there.
Dance.
Stop there.
Thank you. Good
yeah,
one.
I don't know if this guy's just out of his mind. The way he screamed like a girl, it just doesn't.
He's
seem-
going to want to make you think that, though. You always have to think that way. He wants
The pro-
you to think he's just crazy, he's pathetic, he's a wimp until he's there hacking your fucking arm off, dude.
I'm sure
you
that
know?
his immigration status good, but the reason why, how could they not do him for anything worse? Because let's be honest, bro, you wouldn't be going to a school with that on you for any decent reason. You're not doing some
Look.
Well, let me put
DIY.
it to you this way. If he was in some sort of a psychosis, he would have pulled out the machete in one hand and the hammer in the other and went at those cops like they were
Yeah.
fucking demons coming out of the ground. He ran. He was fearful. He knew they were there to get him, and he knew he had done wrong. To me, that's the good beginning of somebody who's actually not crazy, who really knows what they're doing. If he's fucking nuts, then he'll go fucking, that's it.
And if it was
The monsters are here. I'm gonna fucking kill them now. You know. Then they
if
shoot him.
if that was Texas and it was on school grounds, I'm guaranteeing it. A lot of American states, he'd be fucking dead.
Oh, they would have shot
Yeah.
him like on sight.
You're on school
They would have shot
grounds.
him. That cop would have shot him before he got out of the car.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
here he
And
most
guess what?
likely-
It'd been job done, wouldn't it?
If he was in the U.S., he would have had a gun too. So yeah, he
That's the
would have been
difference.
Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah.
Fairly easy to get a hold of,
Yeah,
especially in
but how
Texas.
how come the prosecution didn't know? Because I haven't read but I haven't heard that. So why did you go to a school the day before, another primary school
Yeah.
the day previous, with
what-
all this weaponry on you? What was your purpose?
Right.
Going to
It's
school.
planned. Planned doesn't mean crazy. Planned means calculated. That means
Well, like I said-
he has a mind that is working and calculating. Not
Yeah, like I said, it's just
crazy.
low IQ, isn't it?
Might be.
Well,
mean,
yeah.
what-
If you're gonna go to a school the day before, and the reason why you couldn't do what you wanted to do, we don't know what that is, of course, because they weren't there. He went to a school the day later to do whatever he wanted to do again. We don't know what that is, obviously.
Hmm.
So he must have low IQ not to realise it's summer holiday.
Look, I'm gonna say it because I know you guys are fine, upstanding white gentlemen, so you probably can't. But look, he's a product of cousin fucking. Okay, that's what it is. That's what happens when your first cousin marries your brother's kid.
Yeah.
That's what happens. This is
And
the
to the-
shit that you get. Look, I'm not saying this like I don't know. I know plenty of them. Some of them are in my family. Okay, these people, you might get one smart kid out of the 4 demented fuckers, but the rest do not belong to the rest of good, civil society. Just because one of them became a doctor, that doesn't mean the rest of the family needs to come over here too.
And it just impounds it generation after generation of first cousins. It just impounds this fucking low IQ, semi-retarded people.
Yeah, here, like in the United States, a bunch of families, brother, aunts and uncles and their kids go on vacation together. There's a phenomenon called kissing cousins. That's like you got cousins smooching out in the boathouse. Yeah, it's a little disturbing, but it's somewhat innocent, like young, prepubescent, pubescent bullshit. And these Sudan, apparently, it's impregnating cousins. They take it a little bit further, which is like. It's just so bizarre that they think it's completely acceptable to do that. Or do they not understand the genetic mutations that can occur when,
Oh, they do.
when the male and female share so many genes already? Then that means that more recessive genes are going to come forth in the offspring. They don't get that.
Well, I mean, look, I can't strictly speak for Sudan, but in Iran, yeah, of course they do. They have to do blood tests. That's why you have to have a blood test before you get married. So they have to run some kind of checks to see if your kids won't come out with four legs and
So they know it's a
1.5
problem.
arms.
So they
they
know
know
it's
twisted
unhealthy,
spine.
yet they're still
Yeah.
having sex. And
Yeah. This is it. They know it's a
They still
major
do it.
issue. They still do it. I mean, like Islington, I believe, Islington Hospital. They had cases of first cousin children with deformities, and it was so high in these inner city areas. It's through the roof, and it all corresponds to who's living there demographically.
Urban Root said it. Daniel Hikikachu, by the way, it's Hikikachu, not Kikachu. But anyway, Daniel Pikachu. Yeah, he literally said it brings down the overall IQ of society.
I'm happy about that.
And that's a good thing because they don't question Islam.
Yes,
I'm
he
not
doesn't.
joking. He
That's
made that
basically what he
argument. He made that
basically what he does.
argument.
Yeah, Andrew brought it up as well, didn't he? He said, "What? So you want him to be thicker?"
You know what? You know what's
Yeah.
funny? You remember how many regimes over the years have killed the intellectuals? This kills the possibility of having intellectuals. There will be no smart people left in society if
But
everyone's
it's
inbred.
actually factual. I mean, Andrew,
It's an interesting way to go about it. Rather than
Yeah,
kill them
and-
when they're adult professors, you make it so they're probably never going to be born in the first place because of inbreeding.
well, Andrew brought a couple of cases up where basically if every time you inbreed, the IQ level, well, over a period of generations, consistently drop. And I knew that anyway. I've looked at it before, and like you said, you do it in mass, you do it in a mass form. You're just going to breed retards.
Well, let's us Americans ask you Brits a serious question regarding the royal family. Charles, well, kind of a
come on.
funny-looking guy.
Come on, Steve. You and I both know if Charles was in Mississippi, he'd have a banjo, and he'd be just like now.
Right. And then you brought
He
in
just happened to strike it lucky, and he was born in a palace in England.
you brought in the fairly nice, pure genes of Diana, and then
Yeah.
the kids look less Charles-like,
Yeah,
more
right.
like regular
Diana.
human.
Yeah,
Well,
Diana was like the
looks
course
James
correction.
Hewitt. The one looks
Right,
like
right.
James Hewitt. If you Google James Hewitt and Prince Harry, that's not Charles's kid. That's James
I've heard
Hewitt's
that
kid.
theory before. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
some
look at
people
it,
say that.
if you look at it, it's pretty close because he's got a full head of hair as well.
Was
That's
that
right.
not
No,
her?
no, Harry's
That's
chemistry
the,
instructor or
bodyguard?
something?
Is he?
Bodyguard. That's right.
Yeah,
Was-
yeah.
was
Oh,
James
no, I
Hewitt
think
the bodyguard?
Was he a bodyguard or rugby player? But yeah, it
He
might
was
have been, yeah.
he was a polo player, wasn't he?
Okay.
That's it.
That's James
But the
Hewitt.
thing is,
but-
Harry's
Arnold.
losing his hair though. Harry is
Okay,
going bald.
but even now, I bet if you put James Hewitt, he might be bald. But they do look really alike.
I
That's
don't know.
funny,
I
man.
don't know.
So it's
Especially-
obvious
it's
through
a bit
the
like when you
royals.
compare-
The royals used to inbreed, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and they had issues as well. There was a mad king amongst them. One of them went frigging
Big
nuts.
chins. Big chins.
What's
yeah.
their last name?
Windsor.
What is
Oh, Windsor's.
Windsor? How long's it been Windsor?
Ah,
I think they're all inbred with the Dutch royal family or something. I think it is,
I mean, it's
but I don't know.
look, the way I see it is, if it's just exclusive to like a bunch of royals and these so-called blue bloods who are inbreeding their demented children, they can afford to. A society can contain. Can afford to have a few of these inbreds if they're just in this exclusive club. It's just when it becomes everyone. You can't have your whole society to be inbred.
Yeah.
Demented
Yeah, but no.
retards.
I mean, it's quite a weird comparison. I would like none of it. But in the West in general, when you take out people from all over the world, the percentage of inbreeding is like 1% in every country. It's nothing.
1917.
But I mean, last dance, you're right. I mean, like Meghan Merkel and William's wife, they've kind of broken the cycle now. You know what I mean? They're married outside. Although people are saying that Meghan Merkel's heritage is actually in line with the British royalty, and also who's Kate? Is it Kate Williams?
Kate
wife.
Middleton, was that her name?
Middleton, yeah, she's part of the gang. She is in the
Really?
in the circle.
Yes, I think she's like a seventh cousin away or something, or eight.
Yeah,
10th.
yeah, she's part of the gang though. So some of it is in
she's
there, but their
wa-
kids
she's
look
wa-
normal.
she's-
I mean,
But she's well, and she's. I mean, second cousin, you are right. But like, I think it's like 10th or 14th.
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
I think. I mean, the kids look all right. I mean, I don't know about the state of their brain, but they look like they got all their teeth and their ears are where they're supposed to be, and nose is on the front of their face. And, you know,
So
it's-
I remember when this marriage happened, some of the guys down around in the local media around here were talking about liking her. She was kind of a baddie, sort of an outsider, attractive.
Who you on about? Oh,
Megan.
Megan.
But at some point, she became the butt of ire that people did not like her. What happened? What was the flip here?
She's false. She's false.
You remember
I
at the beginning when people liked this like kind of outsider, she I thought seemed popular, but then all of a
She's-
sudden, bam.
I don't even like the royal family, right? But I'm telling you now, she's very false. She's really vindictive. She's like, you know, not a nice person. And I know that's what the press have made her out to be, but that's what I always thought she was in the first place.
Hmm.
Well, did
I mean,
she claim
I-
her treatment by the royal family was
Well,
racist?
that's all been denied. No one's admitted that they called her any names and stuff. I don't even believe that. But you know, she used to do like this cooking thing, and then when she's been interviewed by this or doing an interview with some other star, it's all like bullshit interview, and it's all set up. She goes, "Oh yeah, I do this all the time," and everything was
Look.
just so like plastic and false.
Look, nobody had a problem with Meghan when Harry married her. Everybody was like, you know, because you see, the thing is, nobody gives a shit about the fifth in line. I mean, I think that's what Harry is now. So like, nobody cares. The British only care about the one that's king or queen, and then the next one. And William is in the crosshairs.
That'll be Will's
Yeah.
son, won't it?
Exactly. Well, it's William next, and then his kids, his lineage.
Yeah.
So Harry is completely out of the picture. So nobody would have cared about Meghan if she wasn't an insufferable bitch. I think she got jealous of the fact that Kate was getting all that attention, and she is some sort of narcissistic, and essentially showed herself to be an insufferable bitch, and people just turned on her because she was just an asshole about it. Like, you could have lived as a princess of the royal family of United Kingdom and had a wonderful life and just be in the background. You didn't be the front player.
Did you see where they were staying? I mean, it's like Andrew and stuff. They stayed in these like retreats. Andrew's now been pushed right out, thankfully. But
Oh, yeah.
you know, they were living in like a really nice fucking.
For a while, they were living in Kensington Palace.
Yeah, and country retreat that they had. It's like, what the fuck are they doing? Why don't they just take that? I mean, it's not a
They
bad
literally
life.
had the easiest ride you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
All they
You
had
could
to
miss the
do was
A
show up
a
to a
little bit.
few I don't know, ribbon cuttings and some
Yeah.
bullshit charity events once in a while, and then that's it. You would have had the life of luxury without really that much taxing stuff. But Meghan wanted to be the center of attention, and she didn't realize her place in this hierarchy. And the hierarchy is king or queen. At the time it was queen, then Charles, then William and Kate, and then the kids are that's it. That's how it is. The rest of them, you become
Immaterial.
background dressing.
Yeah.
You are backup dancers for these lot. You're not the main attraction. Nobody's coming buying tickets
You're the
to
third
see
row of
you.
the balcony. You're the third row of the
Yeah.
balcony.
I actually have a picture of when Harry and Meghan first showed the baby to the Queen. I can show it here. It was quite cute. Queen has her color card. Sorry, did that
Got the
not-
colour card out. you see?
AI must be stopped.
I just zoomed in.
You could do that with standard Photoshop.
That's 5-6 years old. I sent that to Hayden
that
back
is
in the day.
amazing.
Hayden
That is
absolutely
brilliant. I can't believe she's got the
That
colour
picture
palette.
right there might have got me this pub right here. I mean, like Send in the guy who started this shit like that. It was
Oh,
like,
that's brilliant.
We
gotta-
that is
we gotta,
absolutely brilliant.
Publicize his new
Oh.
site.
go for
I
it.
tell you what, I guarantee you, Philip said some off-color shit from time to time.
Oh,
although we
man.
don't have evidence of it. I bet
Well, but
you
we-
he'd say.
I mean, I was just going to say that, about what's the name? The Duke of Edinburgh, isn't it? Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Have you heard his jokes? Any of you heard his jokes? If you put down the Duke of Edinburgh's rudest jokes, he said the most
Yeah.
outrageous
Yeah,
things.
he just-
No, I hadn't.
He-
Oh,
he-
I
he-
saw
so we-
Charles had a few good one-liners at his speech. I'm not going to take it away from him.
I can tell you what he did say. There was a woman next to him, and she had this nice black dress on, and there was a zip at the back. And he said to the couple, "What would you do now if I pulled the zip down on that dress?" And then he talks about cowboys and to do with electricians, but he was talking to an Indian, and it didn't come across as. Yeah, honestly, someone have a look at his jokes. Honest to God.
I'm
That's
the
happy
thing.
to play him
Some
here.
of the
They sound
stuff
great.
was just like very politically incorrect shit. It wasn't like he was, because when you said Charles had some good jokes, those were written out. You know, those
Yeah.
were thought out jokes. This was just off the color, just things he said that were just incredibly embarrassing but brilliantly funny.
Often
fine.
the best. That's the best humor. I would say 50% of the time. Sometimes creative humor, it can just be like a wow, that was a good, joke. But sometimes the offensive stuff just hits home. And if you're
in that case,
offended
go and-
by
go and
it,
check out Philip.
it's it's like the great the guy who used to yell, Sam Kinison. He had so many offensive jokes, but they were always rooted in truth. With like starvation in Africa, he'd say, "I'm not going to send them food. I'm going to send them luggage and plane tickets and tell them to move out of here because do you see this here? It's sand. You can't fucking grow anything in sand."
Yeah, I remember that actually.
But he does it with that yell where he fucking screams, "It's sand!" Like I love that. Some people are going to be like, "Oh, that's so offensive." Speaking about, it's funny. It's just comedy. What do you call, I won't tell
But
that.
the thing
that
is,
joke's too
some
offensive.
people
I'll
will call him a prophet now because I think they took his advice. They started moving out.
Yeah.
Now we have to deal with them.
Did you guys get those little square containers back in the day you'd put your spare money into to send food to kids in Ethiopia? You had them in school.
No, we never got
I
that.
don't remember that.
I mean, how fucked
might
up
be
of a
some
planet
schools.
is it that people in Ethiopia need to get donations from school children in Massachusetts to get food? Like, something's
big crime.
wrong there. You know
big
what I'm
crime.
saying? And there's
The thing
fucking...
is, were you
just-
guys sending them cash or were you sending actually like stuff?
Coins. What would
No
be
coins.
kids?
I don't know
So it
what
was
happened
cash.
to
So it
these
was
things.
cash.
It was
I
coins.
bet you there's. I mean, I'll be honest. There's so many sort of charity scams that people coordinate with things.
Yeah.
And they, schools and other places want to be virtuous, so they want to have virtual signaling tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
they'll
we
get
have-
get on board.
We have a scam in the U.S. It's not really a scam, but people don't realize what it is. In all sorts of smaller stores, there are little boxes that you donate a little bit of money, and it says thank you from the the March of Dimes or some charitable organization. And people think that the money that they put in this box goes to the March of Dimes, but actually the company, it's a commercial company, has paid the March of Dimes for the right to use their name to put boxes out with their name on it. The money you put in there goes to the company. I mean,
Right.
indirectly, the charity gets money because the company has paid the charity for
Yeah.
the right to use their boxes. But that payment's already happened. Every time you put a quarter in that box, that quarter's going to the company.
Profit.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And a lot of other charities take massive cuts out of the donations they get, and they
Yeah.
call it administrative costs.
So they pay
Uh,
salaries. They pay.
Yeah.
They have consultants who are their family members, and they pay them. And
Mm.
yeah, you can. If you're if you're dishonest or venal, you can have a charity that basically spends almost no money on the supposed thing you're doing.
Horseshit.
Spends it all on administrative costs.
Okay, lads, I've got the cowboy joke. Looked at a messy fuse box during a factory visit in August 1999 and said, "It looks like it was being put together by an Indian." Later clarified his
You
remark.
broke up. I think you broke up on the punchline there.
Oh, sorry.
I heard it.
I
Yeah,
missed it.
yeah. He once looked at a messy fuse box during a factory visit, and he said it looked like it'd been put together by an Indian. He
That's
later
funny.
clarified his remark with the royal gaff. I meant to say cowboy, so I just got my cowboy
but-
and Indian mixed up.
Because
That's funny.
to an Indian guy.
That's funny, yo. That's classic.
That's what
Wow.
I mean. He used to make these kind of faux pas all the time. It was
What another one? He opened up something once. I can find it now, and he said he wanted to be the most deadly virus in the world. That's what he said. Did you hear about that?
No.
No.
Oh, fucking get it up to you. Can you imagine saying that though?
I mean, their offensive jokes have been there. That's part of comedy. There's nothing wrong with them.
Virus.
Do you agree with that, Last Dance?
Absolutely.
All right, thank God, because I heard you sounding off once about an offensive joke, and I was like, oh God, he doesn't like offensive jokes.
No, the thing, what is humor? Humor, a lot of it is calling attention to things we're uncomfortable about. And, you're almost forced to giggle just out of, a little bit of embarrassment. So, the best comedians kind of find what's fallen between the cracks that we never thought about, and they point it out to us. And we laugh because we see the silliness or whatever the humor is that we didn't see before. And if it it may be having to do with with different cultures.
Right, sure. That's
So yeah, he did make this gesture. He said Prince Philip's infamous deadly virus comment refers to 1988 interview where he remarked that he would like to come back as a killer virus to solve overpopulation.
Holy shit! Because he died in the middle of COVID.
Yeah,
He actually died in the middle of COVID. I think was it 21 or 2020, 21, something like that.
now
yeah,
this was the Queen Mom's husband, right?
yeah.
The Queen's husband, not the
Queen's
Queen
husband.
Mum.
Sorry,
Wait, did you
Elizabeth.
guys call her the Queen Mom?
No,
Well, there
her
was-
mum
that
was
was
called
her-
the Queen Mum.
That was her
That was-
mother.
yeah.
So the Queen Mom would have been dead way before.
Oh,
No,
yes.
the
She lived
Queen
a long
Mum was
time, too.
she lived a long time. She was like 99 when she passed.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's
she
what, 10
died a
years
long
ago.
time before Philip died.
Yeah,
Philip passed away April 9th, 2021.
yeah, and she must be past 10 years previous, but she was fucking that age because that was her son. Don't forget.
So correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong. Was Philip outside blood like Diana, or was he like in the lineage of royalty?
Well, Queen was actually the right blood, wasn't she?
She's the one. Yeah, that's why she
Yes.
was queen. But Philip married
So
in.
no,
so was
no, he married in. Yeah,
But was
No, but he
from,
was
like,
he was part of it. He was part of another aristocratic.
yeah,
line.
I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure.
He wasn't
in,
like
in
Diana,
Greece.
like an
Well, he
every
was Greek,
person.
wasn't he? He was Greek.
was
His family
Greek,
line was
yeah.
Greek.
But he was
Oh,
part
like
of the. Even Diana was part of the. Diana was actually part of aristocratic class. her family lineage was still associated with the royal family.
Oh, no
It's
kidding.
not like Diana was a complete outsider. She was just like William's wife, like I don't know, 14th, 16th cousin remove or something. But they were still in it.
Do you remember the family home? They used to put all flowers out there when it happens. You know, like her family home, her parents' home. I've driven past the place before. The people still put flowers there.
Really?
Yes.
And this is so it's actually in Wales is where the family lives.
No. Diana's family's they had a place somewhere in like southern part of England. But I've driven past it.
Ah.
It was pointed out to me that's like Diana's parents' estate or whatever. Like,
Yeah, Philip was great.
and you see like the odd flower out there. And I said, "Fucking, they're out there all the time." It's like, well,
Yeah.
I suppose
yeah, I mean,
people.
I mean, I've been to Kensington, you know, the area where they have like a little, like a fountain type memorial. For
People put their
Diana.
feet in
I
it,
was
don't they?
there. I was
People
in
put their
London
feet in it to
coincidentally.
fall down.
Yeah, I was in London coincidentally. I wasn't living in London at the time, but I was in London.
It's in Hyde Park, isn't it?
when she died. And no, we were in Kensington. Me and my friend, we were just walking because the people I was staying with were in Kensington and near Kensington High Street. We were just walking down Kensington High Street. It was summertime. And we came across like a news van and like a whole bunch of people. We were like, what the hell's going on here? So we just started walking up and then realized, oh my God, this is Diana's memorial. This is where all the flowers and all the little toys and, you know, all the plush toys and stuff people put and the cards and everything. It was like, oh my God, we just randomly stumbled across Diana's memorial.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember it. I remember it very well. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, a lot of people still say that the royal family took her out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they did, but I could certainly understand the juxtaposition of her having the affair with Dodi Fayed, the car crash, the excessive speeds, the lack of information around the whole thing, the obvious friction it was causing in the royal family. Like all the facets are there to fuel the conspiracy. I just think it was, in reality, just that some fucking overzealous driver who was drunk floored it and lost control, drove into a wall, fucking killed them all.
Yes, see, that if I were to indulge the conspiracy, some people even say she was potentially pregnant by Dodi.
I
Yeah.
heard that. Yeah,
That's what they say. Does it right?
that's what I mean. Yet
Imagine
another
William
thing
having
to
a little
add to the
half
fuel.
Arab brother.
Add to the fuel, right? I mean, this is yet another facet to say,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, could there be anything more like
Yeah, yeah.
conspiratorial than this?
Yeah, and
Maybe
Abdul.
9/11, but yeah, it's like
And Abdul.
there's reasons why these conspiracy theorists exist, because we all look at them and say, gosh, that's a curiosity, but maybe not anything more than that.
Banksy, you know when you see just like walked around the corner and you come across it. So I was just talking to a fellow YouTuber the other day. I missed one of the worst videos I could have, really viral video. And
Hey, Welshman, can you see me? See this?
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
it
Yeah,
here,
get
brother.
close.
Keep it here.
okay, mate, is that better?
Yeah, you're going in
yeah.
and out. That's why. Yeah.
He's
It's my
leaning
neck
around,
is.
he's singing, he's doing the James Brown.
I'm not
up
actually
there.
doing anything different. Anyway, I'm walking my dog on the front of Cardiff Castle, right in the centre of Cardiff. So there's like a grassy area where you can sit down in the sun and stuff. And I heard the sirens going off, and I heard police sirens from multiple angles. And I thought, fuck me, that sounds serious. Straight away, my YouTube brain's thinking, oh. So I get my phone out, presses well, I'm looking around, and the police stop on the road just in front of it. And I start filming. They get out their cars, and they've got their fucking machine guns out, running right towards me. And I said, put it down, put it down, put it down. And I'm looking, what the fuck? And I go one to my left, one to my right, running towards me. I'm with my dog. I don't know what to do. So I just keeps everything steady. Don't move anything. and he went straight past me. There was a guy playing with like an air rifle, sat on the wall. And obviously, someone reported him. And when obviously the police went past me, thankfully, I was a big breath of fresh air. There's like more police coming as well. There's more police coming. And I filmed like obviously this idiot with an air rifle. And
I know
then
it's
the
hard
cop
to
rider-
hear.
Then the cop rider got at me to film it.
Get closer to the mic.
I'm as close as you can be.
See, but when you say that and lean in closer, it gets much louder.
Okay. So basically, I looked at my phone and I hadn't recorded anything. I double pressed play. And of course, if you double press play, it goes bored.
Typical.
And even they were literally like 3 foot from me to shoulder, but they weren't past me.
Huh.
I couldn't drop anything or move anything. Of course, they were talking to the guy behind me. But fuck. Yeah, it's scary. And I didn't have it. I just couldn't believe it. I was literally devastated. I was like, how could I not have that?
Yeah, I mean, when I came across Diana's memorial, that was in '97, dude. Mobile phones didn't have cameras at that time. So I had no, unless I walked around with some giant, home Sony Handycam or something. Then yeah, no.
Do you remember?
Catching that
Do
on film?
you remember when the police got chased out of Hyde Park during the COVID period and we chased them out? Remember that? It was like a mini riot in the park. Do you remember that, Banks?
I don't actually. When was that?
During like the height of COVID.
During the lockdowns.
Yeah, during all the lockdowns and all that. And yeah, they tried to kick us out the park, and basically the park took over. I've got the footage. Well, I haven't got the
Oh,
footage.
when the people, when there was just hordes of people that I think I wasn't there that night. I think I saw it online. I don't think I was
Well,
there that day.
Well, real quick, before you glom over it, Welshman, your situational awareness of a guy sitting there with something that's perceived as a rifle, you didn't even catch it.
Yeah, because I was walking. So basically, when I heard the sirens, I was just walking. So it was like perfect timing. I stopped walking when they stopped their police cars, and they just went straight for me. I never looked to my right because there was people camped out there having sandwiches and stuff. It's a nice place to sit. But obviously the idiot showed, someone said it was a gun, and the police took it literally.
I know. I mean, they'll do that here too. So even though guns are legal, you can't really make a brandishing, you can't be brandishing guns around everywhere. You can in very few places, but yeah, especially over there, that would be a serious offense. But in the end, did he commit a crime?
Well, they nicked him, and they dragged him away. But I don't know if he got charged or anything, but I would have thought so, because the charge, though, is quite difficult, isn't it? What would the charge actually be? Because they've mistaken it as a firearm. As it is, he didn't use it as a firearm. He was just I think he was just sat against the wall, which is fucking around with it.
Well, if you intentionally present something as they could get him with brandishing a firearm, even if it isn't a firearm.
Yeah.
The threat of it is still apparent to the people who are threatened by it.
Yeah, I don't think that was his intention. I think he was just sat at the wall. I think he might have just bought it from the local fucking shop, and because they're legal. I suppose they look semi-legit.
Oh, so it was an air rifle.
Yeah, it was like an air gun or something.
Airsoft, or are we talking
I don't know. I don't know whether it was strictly legal, but that's the impression, because as soon as they stopped him and it was they pinned him on the floor and they nicked him, they were all chilled out then, because they were like, oh, it's a fucking an air rifle or an air pistol. It was just nothing.
Interesting.
Don't get me wrong. The air pistols, not airsoft though, Steve. The ones who shoot little metal pellets.
Yep.
The handgun version, I've seen a friend of mine has one. That looks so real from only 20 feet, from 10
I've
feet.
seen them.
You
I used to
wouldn't
own
know.
one when I was a teen. They were.
Yeah.
You put the little CO2 cartridges. They're like this long in them. You get about 50 shots, maybe. And they work. They'll kill a bird at 15 feet, 20 feet.
Yeah, birds, rats, yeah, easily. But what I mean is the look of this particular is a handgun version. It wasn't a rifle.
Yeah.
I was like, Christ, dude, you sure you gonna don't walk around the streets with this? They're gonna send you to
Don't
jail.
we have to have like a yellow or orange circle around the barrel these days?
That one didn't even have that. That's the
Back in
thing.
the
Not
day-
all of them have.
Yeah, back in the day, you could get them from catalogs, and they looked like a fucking Beretta, dude. It was like scary how these, or a Browning high-powered 9. They just looked like a pistol, but the hole was tiny at the front, so you could,
Yes.
you're going to examine the thing before you get shot in the face. Hold on, let me see if that's a 9 millimeter diameter or a 1.6
A little
pellet.
pellet.
Just give me a break. Just you're going to get
But yeah,
killed
from a
if you-
distance.
Oh yeah, it's
You wouldn't-
silly.
you
It's
wouldn't be able to
almost
tell.
like you're not carrying the real thing, but they're going to kill you. So why even? You don't want to fart around with something like that.
The funny thing is, even the modern day, like these soft airsoft ones, the ones who shoot the little plastic pellet things. I've seen a lot of those looking very realistic.
Some of them, yeah.
Full metal bodies. Yeah, they looked really like. I saw this AR-15 sort of replica type. I was like, holy shit, dude! In America, especially, I think you might get in trouble. They might get shot if you're caught with that.
There's a YouTube channel called The Armed Fisherman. He's like a Latino chap, and he walks around with an AR pistol. And I know that sounds weird, but there is like an AR pistol out there that you can.
I know
It does look a bit like an AR, but it's like smaller, cause it's a smaller barrel and a smaller like shoulder. Yeah. And he's had loads of cases where he's ended up suing the police, like, because he always says he's going hunting and fishing, and if you're going hunting and fishing, you can go armed, basically. And they're saying, yeah, but this is like downtown, fucking the Keys and stuff,
Yeah, it depends. It's oftentimes a lot of the discretion lies with the police because they're in charge of public safety. So he's walking a fine line there, but then the police are too. So
you can't
he's doing
Steve,
it on
you can't
purpose.
say that, Steve. It's either legal or not illegal. It's not up to the police. Not up to the
But
police.
no, I guess in the public
That's how they
safety
get sued.
sense,
That's how they get sued.
right? But in the public safety sense, they also have to be thinking: is this guy about to mow down a bunch of people?
Well, but the thing is, when they stop him and they say to him, like, what are you doing? He said, I'm going hunting and fishing. He's got his rod and all that. He's got all the right stuff. And they should have. I know the police are fighting IQ because they're pretty low down. But if they then turn around and nick him for some bullshit, he's going to sue them, and rightly so, because when you speak to him, he's not. Basically, this is a test. This is a test.
I guess this is is it like that the auditors, except he's doing a Second Amendment kind of auditing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because
And
I've seen a bunch of.
This is different from state to state, of course. This would
Yeah. But he only does that in states where, if you go in hunting, either you're going to or coming away from hunting and fishing, you can be armed.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos of guys who live in states which open carry is legal, and they've just got an AR-15 just hanging straight off them, just off their like this little camo.
You wouldn't rob the cunt, though. You wouldn't rob the cunt.
Wannabe Call of Duty guys, they dress up and they've got an AR-15 just straight on the stomach.
That's some states. Now here in Massachusetts, it's actually legal to open carry, and they give the chief of police and the firearms resource officer all kinds of leeway in deciding who gets to have firearms. You get arrested in a town open carrying because people feel threatened by your gun, the police are going to take your guns away, even though it's open carry. It's fucked up, but that's why, like, people in Massachusetts know they should never open carry, because you get one or too many phone calls to the police for visible firearms. They can literally just decide, Your constitutional right is now null and void. You fucked up.
So what you're
too
saying,
many
you've got
times.
what you're saying is you've got a right, and you don't flex that right, because if you flex that right, you could lose the right.
Yeah. So
It's
you
not.
keep
It's not
that
really a
shit
right
hidden.
then, is it? It's not really a right then, is it?
It's not, but you keep it hidden, and you're still allowed to carry as long as nobody knows.
Yeah,
about
but
it.
like you said, if you're allowed to open carry, but everyone
You're not
advises
allowed to
you
open carry.
you're not really allowed to open carry, then it's not a right. This
But
is
has
why.
anyone challenged
where the-
that?
this
Taken
is-
it to the Supreme Court? I mean,
this
this
is where
seems
the-
very, very.
Yeah, but this is where the term: if you don't flex your
Weird.
rights, you lose your rights.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys now have these cross-body slings, which I think are stupid. It's asymmetrical, so it goes over one shoulder and under the other. It has a pack sort of on an angle across your chest, like from here down to there.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of them have fucking pistols in it, and it's so obvious. But this is one way to get around the open carry. And they even have this quick release thing where you can whip it open and pull this shit out and fucking get into
yeah.
battery right away. But this is just one of the multiple
Ways
ways
around
people
it.
are get around it. Exactly.
Interesting.
There's also holsters that have like a big flap over it, so it just looks like a big flap of leather on your side, on your kind of right quarter. So you lift up the
And
flap
technically,
and you
technically
draw
that's
with
the
the
open
other.
carry, yeah.
Kind of like Indiana Jones's thing, you know, how he has
Yeah, yeah. So
pouch.
you lift the flap with your left, and in your primary hand you pull out the pistol.
And
then-
Steve, that technically is not open carry because it's completely covered, correct?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's. I mean,
Could be a
don't you
cell
guys
phone.
need concealed carry licenses then for those, or they don't?
Yeah,
need
to
that?
carry at all in this state, you need to get a concealed carry. You have to go to a class, which is about 4 hours long. They offer a live fire, which you have to participate in. So you get to fire guns in the class. So at least you're sitting in a class, you chat with some guys about shooting, and there's an instructor. It's informal. He takes you to the range, pop off a few rounds, you get your certificate, then you apply. They run your shit through the FBI data website and background check. If you have one lie on the thing, they'll fucking catch your ass and you're fucked. So
Damn.
don't lie. And then you meet the cop. He shakes your hand and tells you, wait another month and it'll be here waiting for you. So after a
Also, you
couple
actually have to go
months,
to a police station to pick up the
Oh, yeah.
the license.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
And then after all this, you give them your ID, you get your shit, and then you.
How common is this? Now I see this. Now it could be viral, and it's less common than it really is. But I see like
closer,
a
get closer.
CCTV of a firing range. Then all of a sudden, some Derek there is there. He's popping away, and then all of a sudden he puts one to his temple and he pulls the trigger.
Yeah, that's all too common.
Yeah.
Sad. And often the firearms range officer that's there catches a bunch of shit for it. And it's not their fault. If someone is so determined to do it,
Yeah.
then it's going to happen. And it's sad. I really don't. I don't like to see those, but how are you going to avoid it if you're offering, come on down and rent a gun, blast away, you know? Eventually, someone who's crazy with money and
That's
says,
right.
I want to end it all, I'm going to fucking rent the gun. 3 shots in, 4th shot goes,
That's
you know.
messed up.
Yeah, it's sad.
Because the thing is, the trauma you're put. You see, I see this actually with train drivers.
Train
Because
driver.
a lot of people
Literally, I was going
commit
to say
a
it.
lot of they do a lot of exit the planet through jumping in front of a train. And the thing is, these poor people, the guy at the gun range or the guy at the train driver, these poor bastards are traumatized for like years of their lives because some dude just came in and just off themselves, or the train driver just ran over some guy. This is like
And I bet you the
cruel.
teacher on the range is not really doing the wellness check. That's mostly front staff doing the wellness check, looking out for stuff like that. He's mostly just in the back room where he does his bit on the range. So like he has nothing. It's like the taxi. It's like the train driver has nothing to do with him personally, and he was green lighted and he sounded fine, nothing to do with you. And it's like Yeah, the train's 20 foot away and jump out. Yeah.
I consider it inconsiderate suicide. If
Yeah.
you're gonna take yourself out, at least be considerate. Find
Well,
a bridge.
Clarkson said that, didn't he? 'Cause
Find a tall building.
Yeah, Clarkson said that. He said, I think some prick. He said, jumped in front of the train on the way home. He said, I was stuck on the train for an hour. What an inconsiderate bastard, or something, he said.
Yeah, I like that guy. He seems all right, Jeremy Clarkson.
Copper says, "I'll be a great a trade driver. I'll be aiming for them."
Who said that?
Cup of tea. Luckily, the tracks
of tea.
would stop him from technically aiming, but that
Yeah,
is
you
a
can't
morose
aim. He
subject.
just,
I'll
he'll
be
accelerate.
Give it
He'll
a go.
just accelerate when he sees the dude jump.
If someone plays chicken, you go, okay, we put the foot down. You see those Asian chaps on the trains in like India or somewhere, and all of a sudden the train's going fast. And
Oh
he's
yeah, those
swinging-
guys are just straight up idiots. They're
Yeah.
literally on the train tracks, and the train just. I mean, there's
Well, they're
an
in the
entire
carriage.
video
They're
about
in the-
these idiots.
They're in the carriage, and occasionally they lean out for some reason. Yeah, they're not even looking
Yeah.
at the direction the train's going. Whether that would make any difference anyway. And they sort of swing out, and all of a sudden they get hit by like a bit of.
The amount of people that
train
get taken
journey.
out in India by trains is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
But
Unbelievable.
They get clipped by like either a train or something else coming in the other direction. They're on the carriage, and also you just hear them all go straight down the side of it. And you're thinking, they just carry on the train.
It's
You know,
horrific.
stop.
It's absolutely.
Stop
The thing
it,
is,
carry on.
you've seen how they ride these trains in in India. They're literally on top of the train. They're hanging off the sides. It's insane. There's like 1,000 people on a 400 capacity train. It's like
And people die.
yeah, all the
It's
time.
almost considered,
And they
Well,
don't stop. They
10
don't
people
stop
die a
either.
week.
They
Oh,
just
well.
carry on, isn't it?
yep. Just, throw them,
I just see it as
throw 'em
natural
on the
selection.
compost heap.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy because there is this video on. I think it's on Odyssey now. I don't think it's on even Rumble anymore. It's called something like Code 8 or Code something. Let me see. I had it saved on my Odyssey actually as a thing. You can't show it anywhere. You can't. I mean, Odyssey is like the only place. It's called Codex Pagit, and I may have even screwed up just saying the words. It's insane. It's insane. I will send you the name, thus you may search this on the side.
Tell us what's
It's
in
just
it.
a private chat. It's a kind of like a David Attenborough style documentary about India, but I'll be honest. First of all, you better not have eaten before you watch this, because it will mess you up. You will straight up throw up.
I'll bet I've
It is-
seen most of those videos.
Yeah,
You
it's
talk-
horrific.
You talk about the Pooh Festival and stuff.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's just India.
General,
It's
just
everything
general.
about India.
Yeah.
The level. I mean, what pisses me off is that the rest of Europe and America, North America, are killing themselves with morons like Greta Thunberg talking about the environment and we must recycle it. Your recycling doesn't mean dick if you see the amount of shit India
Literally.
throws into the rivers.
Literally.
They literally bring a garbage truck and they just empty it into the river. They just just back it
Man,
up
man,
into the
man,
goddamn river.
I seen a viral clip the
No
other day
landfill.
where they were emptying a shit truck, and then 20, 50 foot downstream, there was a guy washing.
Yeah, they're washing themselves
Yeah,
100 feet
didn't
down
see
the,
it. They
down
were
the river.
dumping. They were dumping a turd wagon out. It was turds, and like 50 foot downstream, there was a guy washing his hair and stuff. And the camera
Dude,
done it in one take as well. He did it.
I
It was
was
such
watching
a perfect thing.
I was watching a documentary called "The Worst Jobs in the World." There's a guy in India whose job it is to go and dig out, to flush out, to sieve out the dead bodies in the River Ganges, because they have a tradition of pushing these dead bodies into the River Ganges and let the river take them. Well, they pile up. So this guy's job is to jump in the river and pull out the dead bodies. But the thing is, literally 20 yards down the road, kids are swimming in the river.
Yeah,
And this guy's hauling dead bodies onto his boat.
in the cast, he is on the bottom. In the cast.
Yeah,
system.
no, I don't think, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the actual cast, like
No, the
that you
cast
put a dead
system they
person.
have. It's between the body grabber and the guy who has to dive down in the shit sewer to fucking clear it out. These people are.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's horrific. It's horrific. If you see how Indians live, my thing was, what happened to diseases? What kind of immunity? These are the people we need for gain of function testing,
Yeah.
because they clearly are not infected by anything. They are
Sure.
immune to
Their
bacteria.
immune systems are supercharged.
So have you played the game? Has anyone played the Google Earth game when it comes to India?
No.
No.
So the
One
game
more quick
is
thing about India regarding the bodies going into the rivers. There's this type of catfish they have over there that scientists have discovered. They notice a funeral pyre and these
Yeah,
catfish are
yes.
setting up downstream and they're
Yeah, they know.
eating the bodies and they're getting huge. I think it's called a gaunch or gunch catfish. Massive. And
yeah,
they're
so
eating-
they target it, don't they?
they target the humans because they are visual predators with the eyes on the top of their head, and they've come to identify these funeral pyres, and then shortly thereafter, a crispy human body comes down, and they
Yeah.
start eating. It's,
They prefer cooked food.
So yeah, it's not Google
Medium
Earth.
well done.
It's Google Street View. So if you put Google Street View up now and just go for any place, I think you can use Google Earth. You just zoom in anywhere it's called in India, and you get the camera, and if you do a 360 circle, you'll just see shit everywhere. And they say that's anywhere in India. You will not get a picture where there ain't fucking rubbish on the floor.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure.
It's like an internet
It's
game.
horrific.
Because no one can find a photo of like Google Street View in India that hasn't.
That doesn't have crap everywhere.
How
Yeah.
does India seem to maintain an upper class with so much money, yet also maintain such a vast poverty-stricken class? And I'm not talking poverty like the United States. I'm talking real poverty. Dollars a month type shit, dude.
Yeah, you've got a poverty in America where they're all obese, which is quite unusual.
So
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, how does this country? Is it just literally? I really. That's probably the biggest country in the world that I have the littlest amount of knowledge of how they actually work would be India, to be honest. But the wealth gap, the amount of poverty, it's unbelievable there. Who was it that visited? Was it Trump when they put up fucking walls to the slums when he drove down? Like,
I don't
fences
remember.
so he couldn't see anything. Like, that's when they went crazy for Trump. I think this was in his first presidency. Narendra Modi, right?
Yeah. Modi, he's I think he got re-elected as well. He's still
Is he still there?
the prime minister or president or whatever.
Unreal. All right, Welshman, what were you saying?
Oh no, I don't know. I thought I said it. I want to say it.
Jesus Christ! All of a sudden, he's getting assaulted by
gone. He's
robots
getting
over
something.
there.
Guys, I posted the link for this video that I'm talking about in the side
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah,
This
I
is
got it.
part 3, by the way. You should check out part 1 and 2 too. Again, severe warning on do not eat or have eaten shortly before you watch this. I'm serious. Watch your gut. There's some nasty stuff in this video. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no way you can't. I don't think there's any. As I say, I haven't found any other social media videos hosting site that actually
There's
has
AI
it on.
involved here.
No, this is long before AI was around. I think this is well, actually no, it's just a year old. This
I
particular
think
one.
they have an AI version of David Attenborough
Yeah,
narrating.
yeah, like a voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
The videos aren't real. I detect AI.
Really?
Yes.
On the actual videos, on the actual video
The
itself.
guys kissing the lizard, AI.
Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, so you guys are watching part 3. Let me
The
see.
urine in the face is real. There. What I'm saying is there are things.
Urine in the face. You're
It's not
describing
detecting
it.
AI.
The call center was AI. The people riding
Oh, yeah.
on top. The people riding on top of the train, completely real.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying now. Yeah. I think it's mixing in and out, because I haven't seen part 3. I only saw part 1 and 2, and I'll be honest, I couldn't stomach after
The
that
monkey stealing
anymore.
the drink, AI. I mean, it's literally flipping back and forth between real and AI, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. I think yeah.
I mean, you just
Although
look at
those
the,
damn monkeys steal everything, I have seen them in real.
they do, and it's not
videos.
outside the realms of reality. But when you look at it, and it's like unbelievable clarity and perfect movement of the monkey stealing the drink, and the guy's shirt is perfectly clear. You look at the other ones that are actually real, and it's a somewhat grainy, obvious cell phone video, you know. So, I mean,
You're right. Actually, AI is too clear. It's actually too.
that's
high
one
def.
of the that's one of the tips. And now the newer ones are really starting to try to make them look like cell phone videos. You have to actually look more at the content than the clarity.
I've
I've
actually even
learned it
seen
too
some.
by myself by liking too many fucking AI videos and getting called out by other people, and then I'm like, you get trained, you get gun shy. Like, wait a second,
I've actually
I
seen
can't
some
like
that
this
pretend.
yet. Is it fake or
pretend to
fucking
be-
real? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've actually seen some pretending to be security cameras, and like different types, styles of cameras as well. So yeah, they are getting really good. I'll be honest. I think in a few years. I don't even think. I used to say like 5-10 years. I'm not even sure it's going to be that long. Maybe in another 2-3 years they'll be indistinguishable from reality.
I agree.
It's already very hard to spot.
And the quickness that they'll be able to learn it because of AI, they'll just keep analyzing videos that are real and making videos that mimic them using the same parameters that the real ones are. So it isn't like it's going to be real humans doing this. It's going to be AI learning it, which is a scary shit. But
Yeah.
Eastwind, I am sipping on what I call a lazy man's margarita. That's tequila,
Nice.
water, and Paul Newman's Limeade is a great, easy way to make just a simple cold lime tequila drink
Paul
without
Newman
going through the
made
whole rigmarole.
limeade?
Do you know what Asmin Gold on YouTube? Really huge YouTuber.
I've never found it interesting. I know of him.
Oh, Asmongold.
Yeah. So he mentioned about AI and all that, and there was this game company that had like 160 employees or something, spent like 200 million on this game or some crazy shit, and it was a complete flop. Now, he said someone made a game that everyone wanted, where they moved away from basically, he made a game, and he said it cost them like £100,000 or something, right? And they reckon it sold like 60 million or something in game sales. And it's all done by him, basically, in AI. But in such a way that he wasn't restricted with any of the PC bollocks on it, and he just did his game. And it went viral, the game's really popular. And yet, like, the huge companies just spent like 200 million on this whole game thing that they set up, and nothing worked.
Wow. That happens in the gaming industry. There was a famous pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, Curt Schilling. He went into the gaming industry and completely tanked about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses. I've always been of the belief that gaming has way more capability than what they let on. Like, I almost feel like it's a metered release so they can always have something a little better to offer next year. It's a business strategy.
Mind you, we've talked about it before.
you-
Tony Hawk's, we talk about percentage tickets, game sales, and like maybe apart from Michael Jordan, I think Tony Hawk's beats him anyway. But he became a multimillionaire on his Tony Hawk's game, didn't he?
Yeah, I'd say multi is an understatement.
Yeah, over the 30 years, over 20 years.
Oh my god, bro. I don't even know what his net worth is now, but.
And I think he could have taken a deal and got like 50 grand or 100 grand one off payment. I think.
Net worth.
Yeah, I think he he said, no, I want tickets, I want game sales. And
140 milli.
Right.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but like I said, I think he made 70% of that straight from Tony Hawk's fucking.
Holy shit, Michael Jordan, 4.3 billion. God damn, dude.
Shit. Okay. Well, I'm wrong there.
Sneakers
Yeah.
sold some fucking merchandise.
I can get it because I went to the Nike store in London a few weeks ago, and they have a whole section devoted to Jordans. It's a whole section of the shop. It's not even like along with like Adidas and this and that. It's the Jordan section, and it's all Michael Jordan stuff. I'm sure he's making a fortune from so many different outlets.
Yeah, and I love that his pursuit now is big game fishing, and he owns the best fishing boat in all of wherever, the Bahamas or the Keys, and he engages in active competitive big water fishing where it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. He doesn't care about the money. He'll employ a crew. He'll buy a fucking I don't even know $80 million boat. He doesn't give a shit, and he's out there smoking his cigar. He knows he's the greatest fucking basketball player ever, and he's just watching his crew catch big fish, living the good life. The guy is living the fucking good life, man.
Steve, you're googling away there. So didn't Michael
That's
Jordan?
all from memory.
No. You have me tonight. Yeah, I'm not having a go over it because I want another one. Didn't Michael Jordan have the same sort of deal?
What happened? You're quiet,
They
bro.
wanted to give him a one-off payment, and he went, no, I want a percentage of sales.
You're quiet.
Yeah, sorry, mate. What wasn't Jordan's? He was going to get a one-off payment from Nike, and in the end, he said, no, I want sales.
Initially from Nike.
I don't remember what his deal with Nike was for. They made the Air Jordans now, right?
Yeah. Well, Jordan 1s and
I'm
obviously
talking
going
from
through.
Nike. Okay, no, the initial contract was stock options and 500 grand a year. So it was never really a single payment. According to AI, Michael Jordan was never meant to receive a single lump sum payment from Nike. From its inception in '84, his deal was structurally designed as a multi-year partnership. That's coming from ESPN. Usually they have pretty good facts.
Yeah. I know Tony Hawk's was supposed to get a one-off, I'm sure. And he asked for a 1% sales or whatever, and they agreed to it. He said, that's been my pension ever since, basically.
Oh yeah, he's covered. Yeah, always it's better to take the points. There's been people in movies who've done that, and wealthy.
The Facebook artist done the same thing. Chinese Asian guy, he done the Facebook writing or something, the first one, and they were going to give him payment or stock options, and he took stock. And the stock turned into amazing money, obviously.
Yeah.
Then he's a total millionaire on it. Just off, I don't know. Because I think at the time when he'd done the job, You know, it was good, I think, but not where it is now.
So here's an interesting statistic about his royalty checks from Nike. That he makes $34,000 an hour.
Oh, God. I thought you were going to say a day.
No, every hour, and his total 15-year career in the NBA, he earned $94 million in salary. He makes more in 4 months from his Nike royalties than he made in his entire NBA career from salary.
That's insane.
It's insane.
34K an hour. Even his boat probably only burns at full throttle 8,000 an hour, so he's always going to be covering the gas.
Yeah.
And that's not a joke. That thing will burn that much.
Yeah, and he's not in the boat 24 hours a day, is he?
No, that's like when you're on a hard run out to deep water at full throttle. That would be a 2,000
How
gallon.
much fuel does the boat hold?
Probably,
Loads.
I don't know,
Loads.
maybe, yeah, I don't know, I might be off. Probably 3,000 gallons.
Okay.
Nothing more, mate.
I don't know. At nautical rate, too, for buying it from a dock, it's way more money. That's why if you've ever seen guys pull into a gas station with a fucking giant boat and climb up on it and use the gas station pump, because it's like half the price as getting gas on the water.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it before. I'm always the guy who has to climb in the fucking boat because, you know, my bro
Are the
owns
pumps-
the boat, so I get to climb around.
Are the pumps long enough? I don't even know.
Yeah, you get it close enough. You can make it
Okay.
work.
They usually go in at the top, right? So
Mhm.
they're
On the top of the gunnel, which
Top,
is
yeah.
the sidewall. On most boats.
Yeah, so just a quick one on Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk chose a royalty percentage deal over a one-off payment just before the release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1999. Activision offered him a one-off $500,000 payment for his likeness and name permanently. He turned it down and kept it where he earned millions over the years.
Huh. Smart
Yes.
guy. I'm sure he had advisors telling him, don't end it.
I don't think, as I remember it, I think he was like, I'm an hour, and then he just said, oh, I'm going to go for the one-off. I don't know. But yeah,
I mean, after the whole Star Wars thing, I think most people should have learned. Don't be so quick to just take the lump sum, because
that's right.
that's
Yeah,
what George Lucas did. George Lucas
yeah. He
forgoed
sold it
his
eventually,
one-off
he sold it
payment,
now.
and he wanted. He asked them to keep, if he could keep the rights of the merchandising.
That's right.
And
The
at the time,
merchandise.
People were like, the studios were like, merchandising is crazy. We want the box office, money. So yeah, he went ahead and made 10 times more than the box office out of the merchandising. Absolutely.
Glad to hear
I
that.
mean,
He was cool. Is he
Yeah,
still
well-
alive?
oh yeah. George Lucas is still with us, I think.
There's a
Pretty
famous
sure.
internet
I-
video of
he-
somebody
he's-
filming a video talking about constellations in the universe, walking down a sidewalk, and in the background, George Lucas walks by and looks at the camera, and it was completely unplanned. It was just an arbitrary
Oh my god.
walk by in New York City, and kind of became one of those famous internet things.
Yeah, well, where he walks into a building just behind.
Yes. And the
So, yeah,
video,
so-
they're talking about interstellar fucking stars and constellations, and he looks at the camera as he's walking by into
Yeah.
the building.
Seen it.
It's classic.
Damn.
Good timing. Classic timing.
Yeah,
Anything
so,
else been popping into you guys' minds lately?
so yeah, well, I just checked up on the Tony Hawk's thing again, and he said, he done it on his own gut instinct rather than a one-off payment.
Good.
And yeah, But it worked out all right. He could have had even 50% of what percentage. He was still mostly earned 50 million off him, or 70 million in the time,
Yeah.
because he's worth over 100. You said, didn't he? 100 million.
Yeah, 400. I think I said. I forget. But
So yeah, fucking hell.
yeah, he's got major dough.
But yeah,
got-
Michael
like,
Jordan does it. Michael Jordan
Jordan's
does
got
it.
Yeah, well, Michael Jordan's on a
more.
different level.
different level.
Yeah, it's a
But
whole
like
other-
Elon Musk's brother apparently made like 400 or 500 million and retired, and that guy is happily retired with tons of dough.
Was it PayPal him and his brother done?
I'm not sure. I know Elon was in on PayPal. I don't know if the brother was in though.
Right. Yeah, I've heard about his brother, but yeah.
Yeah, because
Would you take the life of 400 million and just living life without a care
Yeah.
in the world, or would you rather pursue like the fucking the
trillion.
stars, changing humanity side of it?
Well, what I would suggest, Elon's brother is differently autistic than Elon, and
He's wired
Elon-
differently.
yeah,
I
he's
would
wired.
take
He's,
the- I'd
he's
take
wired
the brother.
special,
I'd go
but
brother all
not
the
in
way.
that crazy special way.
I'd be just right there with the brother. I'd be buying a boat. I'd buy houses here and there, beaches, relaxing. Just taking life.
Elon has 11 kids with like 8
I'll
different
be
mothers.
honest. I don't
I
think
think
Elon is out.
Elon's more autistic than his brother.
Yeah, definitely. But I think Elon is actually out for. He's like on a mission. He's on a quest. I personally think he wants to die on Mars. He wants to be the first to set foot on Mars, and actually, that's it. I'm gonna die here. This is why. I mean, I don't know if you guys know. He doesn't really live in like any mansion or any luxurious. He lives in like a very, very basic house on site. I think in SpaceX somewhere.
Elon City, innit? SpaceX City. Yeah, I've seen the house he lives in. It is
It's in
protected.
Texas, and it's fairly pedestrian, but nobody knows what's inside the house. I mean,
I
Well,
bet it's
that's what
just-
I'm thinking.
I'm sure he
An
has
underground
a nice setup.
structure of 100 stories.
No, but I mean, I'm sure you
He's
go
just-
in there. It isn't fucking, like Costco grade furniture. It's probably
Right.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean,
decent stuff,
But, or you,
I
like
don't
last
think
time
I-
says you go there, you pull a bookcase, a book on a bookcase, and then an elevator opens. You go
No,
down.
no.
What I
I'm
would
telling you,
do, I would hire humans to be furniture if I had that much money.
if you think about
Two
Elon-
people as tables and
But,
chairs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think he's into material things. I know he bought a McLaren years ago, but from what I see on interviews and stuff, he doesn't seem, a lot of these billionaires, they wear a t-shirt and the same pair of jeans with the same trainers, and I would have thought they all bought IKEA furniture just because it's simple and it's available. That's the
But it's
impression
too
I
hard
get
to
anyway.
put together. He'd probably buy stuff that's more solid than IKEA. IKEA's crap. It's
Yeah,
flimsy.
Yeah, I just think
The thing is, I mean, what I read was when he sold PayPal, he got 120 million for it. That was his sort of cut. He put 20
They're more
million in
comfortable
Tesla.
now with that.
Yeah, and he put 20 million in Tesla, and he put 100 million in SpaceX. I mean, and then he had to borrow money.
yeah.
Believe it or not, he just made 120 million dollars, and he had to borrow money
But
because
that's how
he
you
just
make
poured all
money.
his money.
That's how you
into
make
this.
money. Innit?
It's crazy, isn't it? But the
Yeah,
thing
but-
is, to have that mindset in which anyone who just made 120 million, they're like, that's it, I'm done, I'm retiring, I'm gonna go buy a place in Florida, and that's it. I mean, most people would retire on 120 million.
Yeah,
Whilst-
exactly.
At
Well, what-
35, you could say to yourself, all right, I'm going to take 60 million and I'm going to invest it hard in high yield accounts and get a good investor. And I'm going to take the other 60 million and go in low yield stable stuff. And I'm going to take 1 million out per year to live like a badass. Because then you're 35 to 95. You can have $1 million a year. And at the end, you're going to die with probably another 100 million after your investments all pay off. And $1 million a year, you can really live large. And maybe
The thing
you
is-
take a chunk
Yeah, I didn't
payment
know
and buy
that,
like
Eastwind.
But what I'm,
a
but
bunch of
this is-
$2 million houses around the country. You can flop from Key West to Vale. Maybe you have a place up on the coast of Maine, and you're just popping around to your little enclaves.
I wouldn't buy a house. I'd rent a house. I don't want
But
to.
No way. I'd buy.
what you do then? Though you buy X for, and you really know that you're not going to get
You bought.
You're going too quiet. Your volume swells are outrageous. Welshman.
he starts
It's
off
like,
really strong.
hey, I'm
and then-
Welshman. I'm over here now. Now I'm back over here, and I'm over there, and over here. It's like unbelievable. I don't know how that came through on YouTube, but
The thing is, you still came out better than Welsh because I could still hear you and understand you.
one,
See,
two,
Banksy,
what?
you were talking about
One-
Musk. I would never get $120 million that I would then say, hey, I can retire now because I don't have the drive, the intelligence of Musk to get to that point. So it's kind of
But this is what I mean. I mean, you got to be on a whole other level where you just
Yes.
got 120 million, and then you put it all into new businesses, and then you have to borrow money just to live. I mean, that's a whole other level.
it's ballsy.
Can you hear me now?
Ballsy because that's enough for you and your kids to live forever without working.
Yeah,
Is
can you
it
hear me?
selfish, though? Is it selfish?
to quit.
Can you hear me,
No,
Jazz?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate. We can hear you.
Okay.
to spend it all and then to take loans when you could just invest it and keep your family and yourself good forever.
But this is what I mean. That's why I don't think money is his motivation. If money was his motivation,
He wouldn't have bought Twitter.
literally 10 different levels in his life to just retire and
Yes,
just say, fine, I'm done.
You're obviously right, Banksy. He's
Yeah.
he's
He's
driven
on a,
by
Yeah.
urges and visions that I can't even imagine. I don't even know what makes him tick.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's still a astute salesman. I mean, he's been selling crap for years with his Tesla trucks and all the other stuff, which none of it has emerged actually. But they really really promoted it so that they can get investors on board. So he's clever enough to know that he's how to sell, but money is not his thing. I mean, I love the fact that when he said on that stage, you want to bribe me with money? Don't advertise on Twitter. You want to bribe me with money? Go fuck yourself. And he literally called out Bob Iger's name, the owner of CEO of Disney.
You said that verbatim, then. Do you know that?
Yeah.
You said that verbatim. Literally, that's exactly what he said.
I've seen it a lot. But it's that FU money category. That's why I just love that clip, because that is where you are when you know you've got FU money. When you can tell the CEO of Disney to go fuck himself, that's when you got FU money.
Yeah, I mean he bought Twitter for $44 billion. I mean that's pretty large.
Yeah.
I mean, additionally to that, I don't think he's a good salesman or even a good financial guy, like money man, advisor per se. I think he's just a unique individual who has some sort of a drive for advancement, which he perceives as possibly being an advancement for all of humanity. And it's almost like that wild thinking of his creativity. It isn't a technology thing. It isn't a financial thing. It's just almost like he's an adventurer into things that are unknown into our society. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but he is about technology because, you see him.
He hires guys to do that.
Yeah, he course, but like I said, he's integral because he's really interested and he's got a lot of experience. He may not be the man, integral in the team working all the time, but like, he's got very good experience. But when they're delivering these satellites out every 10 seconds when it goes up, that's so impressive. It's like a little envelope, but it's just like simple, out every 10 seconds. And it's just like,
I think
just
it
fucking
comes
beyond.
down to him coming up with the idea of this is what we need to produce, this is how long we need to take to develop it, and this is our production goal at this time. And then he gets brilliant minds around him, and him with them decide what's the most efficient way to do it. And I think they're always working and making things better, and he's like this sort of orbital managerial position, but I still contend that he is a wrangler of brilliance more than the brilliance himself, if that makes sense.
He gets the right people in for sure.
Oh, hell
100%.
Yeah, kind of like Steve Jobs. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Has Apple
Yeah.
done anything outstanding since Steve Jobs died? I haven't. I am not impressed with any of the phones that they released. They've done nothing innovative with any of the products they've released since Steve Jobs died. It was Steve Jobs that was the visionary, and I mean, I get it. Bill Burr actually does a bit about him where he goes, you can imagine him just walking around the office eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, and he goes, look, I want my DVD collection and all my music into this little phone. Make it happen.
Yeah.
And all these faceless scientists are like, what the hell are we supposed to do this? and that's it. And he just sort of commands them to do it. And then these poor bastards have to go off and make this thing happen. And in a way, maybe that's what Musk is.
No, but Musk, when he was giving an interview to some internet lad, and he gave him an interview, and the interview lad gave him an idea with the reusing the gases out of the rockets.
Yep.
And 7 months later, they've done the interview again. It's really great little interview. And Elon admitted, he said, it was you and your idea about reusing the gases. He said, and for what was funny, in the original thing, he said, what about reusing the gases or something? And Elon went, actually,
yeah, because the guy
you
said, like,
might have something there.
All the thrusters. It was something
Yeah.
called the thrusters.
Yeah, that's right.
And the guy was like, yeah, well, why don't you just do that with all... Because they were doing it for like a cluster of thrusters in the middle or something else.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, actually, yeah, we're going to do that. We'll do it for all the thrusters.
Yeah. So at least Elon, he doesn't want to be protected. He was openly, open to that, and didn't hide it or anything as far as he was concerned.
Yeah, I've seen that clip too, and it is pretty interesting.
But it's also
I've
quite...
often wondered if that was something they planned to look organic, but I
Planted it?
I second guess everything online now. It's just my
it's
nature,
true.
Me too.
sadly.
Yeah, you begin to wonder: is there any
Thing
real
is-
coincidences or just accidental?
He's too big.
happenstance?
He's got too much going on. I don't know if he would even. That would even enter his brain. I remember seeing the interview, and they were just walking down around where the rockets are based, isn't it? Where the launching
it's
pad
Yeah, but
was.
that's
they
how
were
they do
looking
it to
up
make
at
it look
rockets.
organic.
In the video, they were looking up, and there were rockets, right? And Elon was sort of brainstorming when the guy said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but what would Elon gain from the stunt? Absolutely nothing. In fact, it shows he's more vulnerable, really. That like someone who's doing an interview just come in with a little sideball angle and say, "What the fuck?" Oh yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, I mean that could have become a point of, and I think a lot of people did, because I know there's a guy on YouTube called Thunderfoot. He hates Elon Musk with a passion, and he always tries to make videos dismissing or demeaning the stuff that Elon is doing, and that would have been a point of mockery from someone like Thunderfoot or the haters of Elon Musk, because like, look at this idiot, some dude with a YouTube channel is now giving him suggestions on how to build rockets and thrusters. So
But it took him about a second.
For it.
It took him about a second to realise that was a good idea. You could see his brain go. in about half a second, 3/4 second, he just sort of went, yeah, that makes sense.
So that kid actually was a rocket scientist. So did he come from Morocco or Sudan?
Yes, I find him really interesting, to be honest with you, and I think he's good for the people overall. So I don't know about his robotic shit though. So
Gentlemen, I really have to sleep now. It's 4 a.m. Take
Yeah,
care.
I
Peace
found
out.
it. I found the video.
I'll watch it though.
I found the video. I should be able to find a better version. Should I just play the YouTube short?
Yeah,
Right.
all contained, isn't it? I just want to see his face again when the guy suggests it. It's like, oh,
I got to refind it. I had a.
because like I said, it's a left field idea, but actually, because it was from the outside of his circle, it actually works. If you know, just coming from a different angle, isn't it?
All right, here we go. I got it. Yes, sir. Where are we?
Yeah, is my volume better now and more consistent?
Yes.
Better, yeah. You're closer to it. Is that what it is?
Well, I've got wired headphones, but I can't actively charge when these are in because they're using the same port. So I got a splitter, and the splitter don't work. So I had to go.
Delete the part. Yes, yes. But this is only for the booster, right?
Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, might be wise to do this for the ship too. Thanks. No, we're gonna fix that.
Jeez.
Question the requirements. Delete the part.
Yes, yes. But this is only for the booster, right?
Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, might be wise to do this for the ship too. Thanks. No, we're gonna fix that.
Yeah, see, he has a little.
Yeah, the other clip says that puts the two together, doesn't it? I've seen a larger clip where 7 months later they actually done it.
It might exist. I don't know where to find it.
Yeah, there's a longer version where they actually conclude it by saying, "Yeah, that was your idea."
Good stuff. Good stuff. What do you guys think? It looks like we lost Banksy.
Yeah, he's going. I'm out of here too, lads.
All right.
Like 4.
I could.
Yeah.
I'm pretty tired.
All right.
I thought.
Take care, Watchman. You've been great, buddy.
Take it easy.
Nice one, boys. Take it easy.
All right.
All
Be
right.
well, my friend.
Bye-bye.
I thought Lee Howell was going to stop by.
The fact that he didn't lets me believe that he's in a good place. Maybe he's had a few tabs and vodka or whatever weird combo he has. I love the
Yep.
guy. I just want the best for him. And
I did too.
maybe he just crashed out next to his lovely lady and she's healthy
Yep.
and everything's going okay.
That
That's
would be great.
obviously what I hope for.
Yep. Yep.
And Lee, you are in our minds constantly, buddy. But live your best life and enjoy yourself. And if you have a chance, stop on by. Anything
right.
else you've had in mind, bud?
No, I'm tired, and it was a great stream. I really appreciate it. Always a treat to be on here with you, and have a great week.
No problem. And hey, like, just to let you know, we do get to hear message from your significant other. It comes in. That's how the audio. Message from blank, blank, blank. Message from... That comes in at least once a pub. And
Message from Jennifer. Message
Yeah,
from
exactly,
Jennifer.
exactly. I like that. That's funny. Is that some old guy thing where you have to have the audio cue?
I just wanted to distinguish her message from everything other messages I get. Not just text messages, but Discord has a different beep and so on. So I wanted something that really stood out. So
You didn't want it to be stereotypical like the Wicked Witch of the West.
No.
Like from The Wizard of Oz.
No,
That's always
no.
funny when a guy has that for his wife. That's
That
funny.
that
Ash.
is funny, but probably, it's not funny after a while.
Right, and you have to get to the wife category first. You can't do that. Just have nice
Oh, really?
messages up until then.
Cup of Tea says my audio didn't work well.
All right. Well, we got to go back to the drawing board. And on that note, Last Dance, you've been great.
All right, take it easy.
Your new ears worked, as far as I know, fabulously. And we're going to play a little guitar. Let's fix the audio first. Yes, sir, we're going to fix the audio. Blah, 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 blah. Oh. Audio's already set up for bad stuff. Like, I never fixed my audio. Nobody ever told me the fan was audible. Damn, Cup of Tea, I was low? I'm supposed to be the head, but in charge. Come on, man. That's the worst thing I heard all night. All right, everybody. Come back next week. We'll have all our audio issues figured right out. And I hope to see you all back here. I realize now there's some ball busting going on. Keep it up, boys. See you next week.